All right. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Slice of Shonen Podcast. I am your host on the boat, Sailor, and we are back for the big episode 100, fellas. Holy shit. Hey, man. We're old. I shouldn't say we. You know, some of us here are older than others. I couldn't relate, but hey, whoa, chill out. We made it to episode 100. Big accomplishment. Thank you guys so much for listening to us ramble and waffle about for 100 weeks straight. Well, not straight, but like 100 weeks. God damn. Anyway,
100 weeks gay.
True. Anyway, I am not by myself as always. I have my Ensemble of Excellence with me. So let me go down the roster. We have hold on, let me pull up all the members here. We have the Cookin' Taco. We have the Jigga, aka Adam, whose channel is linked down below. Make sure you guys go check that out. Go support our guy. Don't piss me off. We have the Ty. We have the me. Hey, how's it going? And of course, we have the Zenith Annie Manga, who not only has a wonderful Patreon, which you should go check out, but he also dropped an even more wonderful teaser trailer for the Gojo and Makima animation. If you guys have been listening into the podcast, we've been talking about this. Now you get to see the fruits of the labor. It looks so good. Please check that out if you can. And if you can, go support the Patreon. I myself personally have just started supporting it. I'm in that big $20 tier, son. Big spender. It's mainly just the podcast money going back into it, but big spender. You know, I don't look at price tags over here. But of course, you know, the next time Zenith has a big fancy trailer, I can look at a lot of the stuff that was in that trailer before anyone else. It's a very exclusive club, you know what I'm saying? I get my name on the end of his videos. It's kind of crazy, you know. I feel like I have a very strong parasocial relationship with this guy, you know. I feel like we have a very strong connection.
Along with the social relationship.
Yeah. But anyway, right? Make sure you guys go check out that teaser. In all seriousness, it was fucking fantastic, really good. And of course, check out that Patreon. Go support it down below if you can. If not, if you want to donate down to the podcast, then the money will just go to the Patreon anyway. So whatever you want to do, whatever is more comfortable for you, of course, you do you, my friend. You do you. Now, of course, this week, we don't have any chapters. So the Slice of Shonen boys, we gathered around, we huddled together, we tried to figure out what could we do for the big episode 100, and we decided, what's better than slander? So we decided for part 1 of this podcast, you know, many different parts, we are actually going to do a fraud tier list, which I saw some people talking about before the stream even started in the thumbnail. It's very funny. Shouts out to y'all, by the way. But of course, yeah, we're gonna have a tier list. We have the whole thing set up. But before we get into that, fellas, is there anything you would like to say to the people before we get started?
I just want to say thank you to everyone for continuing to watch this podcast, man. It's fucking crazy that we got to 100. Because I'm gonna be real, like, I remember back when, like, Taylor first came up with, like, the idea for this podcast. He was like, oh, like, let's just get on and talk. We had, like, no game plan at all, dude. It was, like, such a... You know the meme where it's, like, all the group of friends, like, let's do a podcast? Like, that's literally it. Like, that's literally what we did. And then it's, like, we just kept doing it, you know?
Bro, let's start a band.
Yeah.
I think we don't know any songs.
Well, I think what's fun about it... That's the thing. We wouldn't have kept doing it if it wasn't fun.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't fun, we'd have just been like, oh, well, who cares? Like, we can just stop. But every week I look forward to the podcast. Because I always know that there's going to be, like... Well, I think I said this before a long time ago, but, like, if we didn't do the podcast live, we would still do the podcast. It would just be in VC.
Yeah.
Like, amongst ourselves. Like, this is the shit we do every week anyway. So we were like, fuck it, let's just stream it.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, it's definitely like it was funny because this morning I caught up on Blue Box and like in that chapter, Chinatsu is just like, yeah, I kind of just like, I didn't really think about it. It just like this sport just became something that I just felt like I had to do. And it was kind of just, it went like that for a little bit, but then it was like, man, now I'm starting to have like way more fun with this. Like, and it's weird too. I feel like we can track how much better we've gotten at this. Like, a lot. Like I feel like we've gotten a lot better in the span of 100 episodes, which, you know, I fucking hope so. But it's so crazy to look back and see how far we've come. And speaking of which, shout out to Kaneki dropping a donation. Happy 100th episode to the guys who steered us through 2023 and into 2024. This truly was our My Jujutsu Kaisen one man. True, man. Amen. Thank you. We appreciate that. We're swerving through 2023. We're looking to, you know, keep the ship steady for 2024, man. Very, very, very nice. Thank you. But yeah, it's just really cool to reach this milestone.
Man, it's been 2 years, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah, two whole years.
Shit.
2 whole fucking years, man. Hey, here's to many more. But yeah,
we smoking that AFO pack in 2024.
You're goddamn right.
This shit ain't nothing to us, bro.
The forever pack, man. God, that shit is so good. That shit's gas. But yeah, is there anything else you guys want to talk to the people about? Any thanks you would like to give? Anything else you would like to say before we get into this tier list?
I hope you stick with us for another 100 and more insane.
You're damn right.
Shit to come.
Bro, we're gonna do this for another 100 years. We're gonna make it the Sailor's 200th birthday.
Whoa. Now wait a minute. Damn. Well, hey, listen, I'm with you for another 100 years, but you know, I'm not old. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn.
You're right.
Hey.
You're immortal.
Yeah, I'm just not old. Damn, it's a shame Sailor probably won't make it another year since he's so old. Damn, bro, damn. Wait a minute, man. Oh my god. Hold on, there's another old comment. What's up, Ensemble of Excellence? Unfortunately, can't stay for the 100, but much love. By the way, Sailor, how does it feel being alive for as many years as, or how does it feel being live for as many years as you've been alive? That's crazy. Hey, man. You know,
it's like that one fucking Diary of a Wimpy Kid moment where the grandpa's like, I want a chocolate cake next year. And he's like, if you're alive next year.
Well, damn. Hey, man, what can I say? I feel like as a very spry young individual, I feel like we have a lot left in the tank. Yeah. You know, and speaking of youth, what a better way to show our youth, you know, because again, some of us have been called old. You know, I don't want to say any names to embarrass anybody, Ty, but you know, some of us have been called old.
Yeah, honestly, like I've been through the race, man. This job that I have has been kind of funny.
Yeah, man, we've been called old, so what a better way to beat the allegations than to do the hip and cool thing, and that's a tier list, man. People have been demanding a tier list. So we are back with the slander. Let me put it on screen for everybody here in chat.
You're getting cooked right now, in the chat.
Oh, am I? Well, hold on. Let me pull this up. Let me introduce this, and then we can.
Is cooking you.
Damn, bro. It be my own niggas. What can I say? But let me pull it up for y'all in chat. Here we have our tier list. It's not a very big one because we have other stuff planned for the podcast, but still a fun one nonetheless. It'll be fun to go through this with everybody. So
if you have a problem with the selection, Sailor chose the characters.
Damn, nigga, thanks. Yeah, I did.
Hey man, sometimes you gotta look out for number one.
Did you already read Silver's comment?
Silver's comment? No, I didn't.
Well, I'm going to give a shout out to Silver. He said, hey, fellas, I'm sorry that I can't join y'all for number 100, but I just want to say thanks, everyone, for sticking with us all the way here. And we hope you'll be with us when we get to number 200.
Hell yeah, man.
Silver, another member of the Ensemble of Excellence. He couldn't make it today, but
Absolutely, yeah. He has some stuff
it's
going
about to
on, but shouts out to
about to
our
give him his
guy,
shit.
man.
Yeah, give him his flowers.
Shouts
He
out to
deserves
our
them.
goat. Yeah, so here on this tier, this is weird because I just can't even see the comments now. But so surely this means everyone's saying nice things about me. So here we have in the lowest tier of the fraud tier list, we have the beat the allegations tier. This is the person who has cleared their name. No fraud allegations, no slander shall be put against them. In the next tier up, we have they were framed. You know, they were set up. It was a setup for a punchline on duct tape. Unfortunately, they were framed, but you know it's okay. Up next, we have potential scammer. You know they're committing some scams here and there. You know they're doing some nefarious activities, some feats
Real
of
quick, hold
fraudulence. What's up?
You know, like
So-
you get a phone call from them and it says potential fraud. You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on. So Sleeping Danger says in the chat, "Wait a minute, why is Eustace the goat kid on here?" And I want to preface this before. There are some of these characters are on here mostly because they're not all frauds. You know, some people are actually going and beating the allegations. We
wanted
everyone be
to
a
fill
fraud
out
here.
it wouldn't be fun if it was
Every
just
tier list
certified
has their
fraud,
bottom
everybody.
tiers.
Yeah.
It just so happens that this bottom tier happens to make you a good person. On the other hand, Kid is not going anywhere near that bottom tier.
Ain't that the fucking truth, brother? Yeah, and then the second to highest tier we have Fraud Watch. These characters, oh man, mighty. They are they have been committing a couple acts of fraud, but they are not in the highest tier, which is certified fraud. This is a whole criminal, man. If you run into this person, hide your kids, hide your wife. This is an entire criminal, man. They have a whole record. It's ridiculous. So here at the Slice of Shonen podcast, we are going to get all of these characters here. We are going to put them in this tier list. And it's going to be a whole lot of fun, man. I added in a few curveballs to make this fun for discussion. I'm really looking forward to this. Also, I will link it down below. So if you want to make your own tier list and you want to send it to me on Twitter at AnimeBlackman, just so I can look at it, hey, man, I'd be more than happy to. But anyway, let's get into this tier list, fellas. So first, we have Yoshida from Chainsaw Man. Where are we feeling him, fellas? Where are we feeling to put him?
I'm feeling a potential scammer
Yeah.
here.
I'm
Potential
also
scammer.
feeling potential scammer.
Potential scammer. Okay.
Because, there's a chance we could see more, and he could actually. But so far of what we've seen, hasn't been looking very good for him. That's all I'm saying.
Because it's like, I think a lot of his hype has been sort of overblown by the community. Like, it's not like, it was Fujimoto himself that started the Death Devil theory. like that ain't fair, That's not fair. In fact, honestly, I feel like that's such a not his fault. I'd be willing to put him down.
I was
They
about
Were
to say, I
Framed.
think I want to put him in They Were Framed, me personally.
Yeah.
Because
I'm gonna keep
Yoshida
it real.
does look
True.
pretty good until Asa levels up, and that's just not his fault.
What?
Yeah,
Let me
tell me
say
about
so.
this.
Let me say this though.
Okay.
I agree with everything that you all said, and I want to preface. I do think Yoshida. I would put him in potential scammer as well. That's
Okay.
where I'm feeling him. And the reason why I'd put him there and not They Were Framed, because he had extremely good showings in part one.
Exactly. Yeah, I was
Very
about to say
impressive.
that.
Yeah.
Very impressive. And then Act 2, he's kind of like
He
he's
doesn't do much.
there, he's hanging around, and it's like, all right, what's Yoshida gonna do? In the first opportunity he has to really do anything, he runs away.
True.
I
He was good
personally
at
feel
that.
like that's scammer worthy. Now,
Mm.
I think that's scammer worthy because it's like, bro, this is your opportunity to do something, and he dipped. it's not even like he lost, right? Because if he lost, I could give him some credit on trying. Because yeah, he was gonna lose, right? Asa powered up. She was clearly stronger. It's like if he would have tried and failed, it's like, okay, man, you stood your ground. He fucking ran away, dude.
I left the stove on.
Okay, let me put it like this, though. He didn't just run away. He disappeared in the small moments that he wasn't being watched by Yoru. Now, who else does that? That's right, Batman. Is Batman a fraud?
He's cooking.
Personally,
I don't know what he's cooking, but he's cooking.
Personally, I would say Batman is a fraud.
That
motherfucker's had like that motherfucker's had like 10 adopted kids and half of them have died, dude. Like, I don't
damn,
know
L Dad.
All right, you know what?
And surprisingly,
I
by
will
this
also. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, and you know, that was a last-ditch tactic to use Tacos being a fan of Batman against him. And
You don't
he
get it,
fully
Zenith.
committed.
Taco?
No, he committed, and I respect the hell out of that. He slandered his own guy for the W, and I can't disrespect that. So yeah, he's going in potential scammer.
Oh wow, damn.
Taco will throw his goats in any kind of mud to slander.
That's real
W
hater
hatred,
mentality.
yeah.
I don't believe in perfection, bro. I don't believe that everyone's, or anyone is really above being slandered. I think everyone has their vices. Everyone makes mistakes.
Everybody
But
has those
potential
days.
scammer. That's not bad because he's
Not bad.
not a
It's
fraud.
middle of the road.
He's middle of the road because, like, I think because his part 1 showings are good, his part 2 showings haven't been good. He could come back later and do something really cool. In fact, I'm expecting him to. But it's like if half of his stuff is good, half is bad. I think middle of the road's kind of perfect.
Okay.
Living a weary exile in the chat, being like, "Yeah, Zenith, push that agenda. What the fuck, Taco? You cooked our agenda."
We sold,
Bro, I still feel like Yoshida belongs and They Were Framed, but if I'm outvoted, we can put him in potential scammer.
I'm just agenda, man. I failed to push it. That's how it goes.
Sometimes the moment you get outed as a fraud is just so fraudulent that you have to go too much high. Don't worry about it.
Hey, man.
Don't worry about my words.
It's not too late for Yoshida.
Okay, so potential scammer,
That's
is that
true.
where we feeling it?
Fair enough.
Okay.
If we're ordering it within the tier, though, like, he shouldn't be at the top of potential.
I think he should be
should
bottom.
definitely
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely bottom.
Yeah. Okay. So we can put him in potential scammer and we can organize the list once we finish it.
Something else in chat, and I find really funny is Sleeping Danger said, "I lied. Now that my goats are getting slandered, I have time for the episode." Man called off work.
Bro called off work to hate. I'm so proud.
I respect the hell out of it.
We love it. We love it.
Hey, speaking of slander, I feel like this one will be a slam dunk.
Yeah.
Next, we have Fuegoleon
Oh my
from Black
God.
Clover. I mean,
Oh,
do we have to
okay.
say much?
Dude, it's not a competition.
Yeah, hey, the tier is red just to match his outfit, bro. It was made for him. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be completely honest. Not only is he a certified fraud,
You can do it.
You got it?
You got there, man. I respect
Not
it.
only is he a certified fraud, he is the certified fraud. That motherfucker deserves to be at the top. Of
You
the
mean to
fucking
tell
tier.
me they call him 007?
All right.
Bro,
Literally, bro.
We're gonna
He's not
get to
just
this
a certified
guy.
fraud.
What's up?
He's not just a certified fraud. He's still on fraud watch. We're still looking out for his fraudulent behavior.
All right. I'm uneducated when it comes to Black Clover, so one person at a time as well. Tell me
will go.
why.
Go ahead,
So
Zenith.
basically, he is like, there is the title of Wizard King in the world of Black Clover, and in the beginning of the series, we're introduced to the characters that are potentially to be the next one. The rivals. They're aiming for the spot. He's one of those guys. He is presented in the beginning of the series as one of the most competent and powerful characters that is vying for this position.
Okay.
Anyways, he spends the rest of the series missing an arm, getting one of the most powerful spirits in the series just to not utilize them well at all.
Bro was just handed it to he had a hand it to him too. Yeah, like you have Mario Leona who's like infinitely better. Yeah, and they just hand him the fire spirit.
Just constantly outperformed by Leona's his sister, right? Just
yes, Leona's his older
by his
sister,
own sister, who does not have the same benefits as him.
Yeah.
So, okay, Jigga, this is why it's really bad. Because that's all true. Everything Zian says is true, but I just want to add a little more context because he not only was potentially he could be the next Wizard King. The Wizard King died. Now there's an asterisk next to that.
Big asterisk.
There was a moment where we all believed that Julius, the current Wizard King, was dead, and it opened up the door for a potentially really cool plotline where it's like, oh, who's going to be the next Wizard King? And I and a lot of us genuinely believe that Fugolion was at the top of that list because it's not just the fact that he's powerful; he's also extremely courageous. He's kind. He gives good advice to Noel and Asta. He is a really cool character early on. And then he loses an arm. And it's okay, man, he got fucked up. But it was by the main villain group. And it was off screen, so we didn't really see what happened. So it's you could give him a little leeway there. It's not we don't really know exactly what happened.
I woke up without an arm, shit.
He comes back. So in Black Clover, there's, all the magical elements. And each element has a spirit that, increases your power, by tenfold.
It's insane.
The main rival of the main character has one of those spirits. And he's literally godly. He's one of the most powerful characters in the series. Fugolion gets one of those spirits.
Okay.
Arguably the most powerful.
Yeah, arguably the most powerful. And he comes back and he proceeds to do fucking nothing for the rest of the series. All he does is he gets compared to Leona. His sister Leona is just insane. She's a goat. She's one
crazy.
Of the best characters in the series. Because Leona is so powerful that when she powered up with her magic, she started turning into mana.
Yeah.
Her physical body started to wither away because she was just
she was just
so
that powerful. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's bro, they call him 007 because he's got 0 relevance, 0 feats, and 7 panels comparing him to his sister. This motherfucker
dead ass.
Nothing, dude.
It's literally imagine I guess to put it in other shonen terms, imagine if you have a spirit, right? You have access to Super Saiyan. And everyone else is we're pushing our levels. We got Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3. We're Super Saiyan God now. Oh my God, we're so crazy. Fuegoleon gets a spirit and he's Super Saiyan, what the fuck is that? He just has no idea. He's just.
You guys are getting Super Saiyans?
Yeah, he legitimately, he's what? He just pulls up with the most powerful spirit to just shoot fire.
Here's a good comparison I saw in the chat. He's like Gohan, because similar to Gohan, he gets this thing that's supposed to be super fucking powerful and proceeds to do nothing with it.
Potential unleashed, all the power in the universe.
Yeah.
He's the OG potential, man.
I was just about to say. Yeah.
But I was gonna say it too. It's just true. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's even more insane, Jigga, because in Black Clover, the main villains, the main antagonists, use devil power. So the devil magic is special. They can't be hurt by regular magic. Regular magic does nothing to them.
It's just much weaker.
Yeah.
In general.
There's only 2 real legitimate ways of hurting a devil. One is anti-magic, which the main character has, which makes sense. The other is I forget the actual term for it, but it's infusing your magic with spirit magic.
Spirit dive.
Spirit dive. The main character's rival, he has a spirit, so he can do that. So he can the main two characters can hurt the devils.
Mm-hmm.
Ugolion has a spirit. That motherfucker can't even use spirit dive.
Doesn't know shit. Yeah.
For months, years,
literal years. Yeah.
And he
Sage in the chat. Sage is in the chat. He says there's no way we're comparing Gohan to Fuegoleon. And I gotta be honest with you, Sage. If we weren't doing just the series on the podcast, I would absolutely put Gohan on this list, and he would not be that low. I don't know how to tell you this, man.
Damn.
That Supergirl loss was fucking incredible.
Oh boy. Yeah.
All-time Hall of Fame bag fumbler.
Legendary bag fumble. There's only one other anime character.
Yeah.
There's only one anime character who's had a worse bag fumble, and we'll get to him.
But anyway, all right. So we got Fuegoleon, certified fraud. Next up, I feel like this is another slam dunk. Kashimo from Jujutsu Kaisen.
Ass up
now,
there.
Here's the thing. I think we got to be kind of measured with this guy.
Oh, we do?
Because, there is another fraud. I'm not going to go into it. There's another fraud in the JJK group that is certified. I think we'll get to him. And I don't think he deserves to be on the same level.
I feel like he does.
He deserves to be on the same level.
I feel like he does.
Here's the thing. Memes aside, he is strong. Like, we're not gonna call Jogo a fraud, right? Like,
no,
that's
not when I'm around.
Yeah,
exactly.
No way. Yeah.
So
Kashimo is one of the strongest characters in the series. When he's using
undeniable.
When he's using his technique, he's insane. I agree with Zenith. I'd be willing to put him in Fraud Watch, but here's the thing, Zenith.
Yeah.
I think what pushes him a bit over the certified frauds is it's
his place in the plot for me.
He carries himself.
Yeah.
Because he pretends like he's the shit.
Bro stood up to Yuta. Like, get down.
There's an entire meme about him. Like, this motherfucker was fighting farmers and like this
farmers and fishermen. Yeah.
Yeah, he was the strongest in his era, and all he did was fight farmers and fishermen. Like
Yeah. I think it's also very fraudulent. Having a whole thing, like, being hyped up. Now, I don't want to say it's, like, consistently hyped up, but after his fight with Hikari, being like, yeah, I was holding back after that insane-ass fight. I was holding back, and that's because I have a curse technique that is so powerful, it'll kill me, and I'm saving it to fight Sukuna. So it's like, okay, he wants to throw hands with Sukuna. He just had an incredible showing against Hikari, one of the best fights in the series easily. That's wild. Like, the fact that he can get even crazier is so cool. I can't wait to see him fight Sukuna.
He was the certified plan B. Not a single person had any objection saying, like, let's just not throw him in the ringer. If Gojo fucking loses, okay, we're all okay with sending this dude that we barely even know.
Not even that, Jigga. Not even that. Hikari was saying, like, oh, we're so thankful that you let Gojo go first. This nigga wanted to go before Gojo. He wanted to fight Sukuna before Gojo. Gojo was going to be the plan B. And like, him unlocking his technique just to glaze and go out in 26 pages after all that hype, he's a fraud. Like, there's no other way to say it. It was a generational ass whooping. I'm not gonna lie. It was
Zenith,
crazy.
Zenith, do you remember the chapter when Gojo died?
You're not gonna believe it. I'm on it right now.
Do you remember the just sheer hilarity you like?
Bro.
I laughed.
when
I
you saw
saw
Gojo's severed fucking body.
I saw his bottom half stanced up like that, and I fucking lost it.
Do you remember in VC when we were looking at the scans how fucking hard we laughed when we saw the end of the chapter? With
Kashimo,
jumping
before anyone had a chance to mourn, the
Oh my
god
God, that's right, they
of
were the same
lightning
chapter.
takes the battlefield. Yeah!
I completely forgot.
The god of lightning. Oh my god, bro.
Kashima was such a fucking joke. People started editing other characters like faces on his
Yeah,
body, like,
jumping
well,
in.
here's the next one jumping.
Oh
in. Here's the
my
next one jumping
god.
in.
That is single-handedly
means.
like one of the that produced one of the funniest tweets I saw all year, where someone was like, to put it in like Naruto terms, imagine if Kakashi just died and fucking Asuma Sensei jumped in and said it's my turn.
I got this.
While we are,
we got
on
we got a
it,
couple of donos.
Oh, we have donos?
We have Wary Exile, Sailor. This is a bribe. Put Pikachu at the top.
You got
It's
it,
like-
man.
No problem.
Look,
Hey, we got
I'll
the
accept that
dono.
He's a fraud. I just don't think he's a top fraud. You know, he's got to be like bottom of the list. You know?
Okay. All right.
I mean, I'd be willing to
do
put
it.
a fraud watch.
Oh no, he's a certified fraud. No.
Yeah.
No,
I- I
we're
put
getting
his ass up there
we're
in a
getting
heartbeat.
bragged now, and honestly, my defense for Kashimo is too weak to not take a bribe.
Listen, I got
Money
weak
is
knees.
much
I
more
don't stand on
powerful than
shit.
reason.
You're damn right.
How much were you sold for? $2.
Now,
Two what?
another thing,
$2.
another important thing is we have Kaneki here with a dono. I could quoting
This is a quote.
the head cabbage planter Kashimo. I could wait till his curse technique runs out, but I ain't no bitch. Run them hands, modern youngin.
That was another funny
Um,
one where it was just like Kashimo thinking, like, he's like, but that's how farmers think. It was an edit that someone did. I could wait for his technique to run out, but that's how farmers think.
Now,
Oh,
I also want
God.
to note this is his 20th super on the stream.
Holy
which is-
shit. Shouts out to
Wow.
you, brother.
Oh,
God damn. Yeah, we really appreciate it, man.
Bro, he's our
100%.
strongest soldier in the chat.
Absolutely,
yeah.
man. God damn. All right, so yeah, we got Kashimo. Thank you guys for the donations, by the way. I can't see anything.
Thank you, everyone.
So thank you guys for reading them as well. I appreciate it. We got Kashimo and Certified Fraud. Next up, we have the Witch Queen from Black Clover. Now the
I put
reason
her on fraud watch.
Ain't that
yeah,
the chick
I'd
from
put
Resident
her-
Evil?
Yes, absolutely. We have
Okay.
Lady Demetrescu from Black Clover. Yeah, so the Witch Queen was gassed up to have like power on par with the Wizard King, and then she gets reintroduced in this current arc, and it's like, oh, I wonder if she's gonna do anything, and then she just dies. At least I think she does. It looks like she
I
died.
forgot she
Pretty
died.
sure she died, yeah.
Yeah, she just kind of dies, and she's like, hey, I can revive your friends, but this is gonna kill me. Vanessa, take my spot. And then Dorothy's like, no, I'll do it. And then that's just kind of it. So where do you guys want to put the Witch Queen with that in mind?
I would put her in fraud watch because, to be honest, like, listen, you belong in fraud watch if your series is saying like you're the strongest and you do nothing. If your series is constantly being like you're the strongest and you do nothing, if it's like monumental, like over and over glazing constantly, this guy's super duper strong and you still do nothing, that's certified fraud. Fraud watch is if they say like one or two times, yeah, this guy's pretty strong, and then you just do nothing. It's like, yeah, nah, you ain't.
I put her in fraud
Okay.
watch. I agree.
I was about to say, I don't think she's as big of a fraud as the people in Certified Fraud, so I can
I
agree.
don't think she
Certified,
matters
or
enough.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think Fraud
she
Watch
doesn't
is a
matter
good
enough.
place to put her. Yeah.
I also love Kaneki's comment here throughout YouTube and comments. I alone am the gassing up one.
Hey man,
That's really
W
good.
Gaslighter,
King.
W Gaslighter. Okay, so that was pretty fast. Next up, I feel like this will be more of a discussion. All for One from My Hero Academia. Where are you guys feeling to put him? I feel All for One is kind of like a weird case.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lead this one again because I got a lot to say on this.
He's AFO's strongest soldier.
I am.
That's
wild. Here's the thing. He is the fraud. Like that's just unavoidable. Like that's the thing. You know, you can't look away from that.
He's a businessman.
It's the point, though. You know, like that is the point. Is that he thinks he's the final villain, and he's not. He doesn't even get to fight the main character. Like that. He doesn't get to die. He doesn't even get to die in a dignified way to someone he considers important. Like that's the point. But he is a fraud. I think fraudulence is a very... We'll call this the theory of fraudulence relativity. All right.
Man's doing mental mathematics for AFO. Holy!
Is relative to his aspirations or to his setup.
This is literally the sped up gif of the guy like drawing on the whiteboard.
I love that.
And his aspirations are to be the main villain, he fails. But he was the final raid boss. So I would consider him high levels of potential scammer here. Because he was, he had it locked in for a long time. It's just in the 11th hour, couldn't really pull it off.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. I would put him in potential scammer as well because, yeah, he is just one of the most powerful characters in the series. He was the main villain for most of the series. Pretty much everything that's happening is because of him. So it's like, the only reason I think he's a potential scammer is because he's just fucking dumb.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't think just being dumb is like worthy of being like super fraud, you know? He's a potential scammer, I think.
I think the highest I would put him is Fraud Watch, just for him being stupid. For him being gassed up as like, oh my god, this guy's so smart, only for him to have so many dumbass moments in the series. I think I would
stop me, and he gets stopped by literally everything.
Yeah, I would put him low Fraud Watch.
Okay.
All for One is the guy who says, I got one more in me, when he in fact did not.
Alright, so what are the votes then? We got me and Taco for
potential scammer. I am
Anyone
Fraud
else
Watch.
I say
scammer?
Low Fraud Watch. I'm fine with like low Fraud Watch or high potential scammer.
Yeah, I don't think he deserves to be.
You're kind of a tiebreaker right now.
A tiebreaker.
But crash.
Okay, I'd say potential scammer, because like early on he was there. He was that guy early on, but he's just not that guy no more. You know.
He's just not that guy.
So, do we want to put him above Yoshida or below?
I would
Definitely
put him above
above.
Yoshida.
Okay.
I think
Above
Yoshida's like bottom.
Bottom
He's
still.
the bottom
Okay.
of potential scammer.
Yeah, he's the bottom of that.
Okay.
Yoshida has
tried.
one of my favorite moments in all Chainsaw Man, where like he literally just grabs a guy, fucking kills him, and then just leaves. I genuinely love that moment.
I do that stuff all the time, man. I get it.
He's just like me.
He's just like me for real.
Hey, I tried people who also hate AFO, but hey, potential scammer is also a good spot for him. Next up, we have the number one Uber Eats driver. We have Kizaru. Where are we feeling putting him?
So hold on. Before we get into that, I just want to understand, what are the allegations against him? Like, what is he on Fraud Watch for? You know.
So the whole thing for it's pretty much the whole discussion with admirals and Yonko and just like where they are in the plot, because this has been a debate in the One Piece community for like years on end.
Yeah, forever.
And this has been the first time where we have seen like an admiral just kind of get like pooped on by like a Yonko. So it's kind of fraudulent because Kizaru did get
for a while.
Yeah, Kizaru did get like knocked out with I don't know, the fucking star or whatever.
Punch.
Yeah.
Punch, yeah.
But at the same time, Kizaru was also like not going all out. We could tell like he was trying to go after Vegapunk and stuff like that. He was conflicted. So there's a lot going into this discussion.
I don't know, man. That's a punch that like fucked up Kaido a little bit, you know? Like,
well, emphasis on a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but also it's fucking Kaido.
But also, okay, go ahead. First time.
I personally, I think that I agree with the whole admirals on Fraud Watch. They kind of are. We kind of really do have to, but specifically for Kizaru, his character kind of puts him a bit higher than other. If this was fucking Green Bull or Akainu, those characters who absolutely glaze the world government and just will do anything, and they were getting their asses handed to them like this, absolutely. But Kizaru's entire point is he's the admiral who's literally just doing his job. He's not here. He's not passionate about this. He's just getting paid. He's here for the
there for that paper.
I chased the bag.
Mm-hmm.
So him not taking it seriously, him not like really going all out or not really caring, that's kind of expected for his character specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and even the like punch, it's like it's clear the punch really hurt him and he was down, but I think we can all agree like he was like playing it up because like he clearly didn't want to keep fighting, like he doesn't want to kill Vegapunk. So I think when he's like, oh, I can't move anymore, it's like he could probably stand up if he wanted to, but he's just fucking sitting down.
I'm tempted to put him in I want to put him in They Were Framed.
I want to put him in They Were Framed because like my whole thing is this was started by like fans of the fans in the community, Admiral fans that wanted to argue that they were on the same level as Yonko. And it's like, I think if you're reading the series even before this fight, that just ain't true. like I just don't think there's enough good arguments to support. So it's like he lost to a Yonko.
There's
I'm not calling.
There's one important panel that I do think, because personally, if it was just his egghead performance, personally, I'd put him and beat the allegations. But there's one panel that I think he deserves to be in They Were Framed. I think he's slightly above. He's slightly more of a fraud. And that's during Wano, when Akainu and the Navy heard the communication that Big Mom and Kaido, like, Big Mom was going to Wano.
And they were teaming up. Yeah.
Yeah, and Kizaru was like, Akainu, do you want me to go? And it's like, that was a really cool panel, because it's like, holy shit, Kizaru was like about to pull up. Like, he's willing to pull up on 2 Yonko. But now it's like, I don't know, bro. Like, what were you thinking? Like, if you would have pulled up, bro, you would have got fucking...
It would have been Jover.
Fucking decimated.
I think that's the one thing that it's like making me put him a bit more higher. I think I'd put him in They Were Framed.
Okay.
I agree with that.
I agree with They Were Framed. Next one is one of the curveballs for me. We have the entire Clover Kingdom outside of Asta and Yuno. The reason why is because in this current arc of the war, they are just incapable of doing anything before Yuno activates his Neverland spell. They are just like, God, it's over. It's done for us, man. Like they show up, they have the whole ensemble of people, and they almost immediately get dog walked before Yuno pulls up and actually helps out. I will say though, some arguments for the Clover Kingdom is that they're going up against Big Devil Man and all this other crazy ass shit. So, like, I don't know how hard we can go on them, but I thought this would make a fun discussion nonetheless for the entire Clover Kingdom outside of the 2 main characters.
Man, some of them are just civilians. Give them a break.
Well, here's the thing.
Like
I think
90% of them.
there's a fair comparison to be had and I know the Black Clover fans are gonna want to fucking rip me apart for saying this. There's a fair comparison to be had with the scene in the Fourth Great Shinobi War when Naruto gives all of the Alliance his chakra to like kind of protect them and like power him up a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, one important caveat with that is everyone in the Alliance were fighting the war for like, what was it, like a day or so, 2 days? Like, it was a while, right?
Yeah.
They were all fighting. They won consistently. They won their battles. I mean, it took Naruto had to go out and do the Shadow Clones to help them. But it's like they were winning consistently. They all came to the
winning
final
before
battle.
he came out. Yeah.
Yeah, they got to the final battlefield and they were on their last legs. They were being overpowered, and then Naruto gave them that boost, right? It was still their own power. They were still using like their own jutsu. Like they were Naruto helped, but they were carrying their own weight, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Clover Kingdom literally weren't doing anything. They were just being eradicated until Yuno showed up. It was like 100% chance of defeat.
Mm-hmm.
And even Asta giving the Black Bulls like his anti-magic whatever bullshit power. It's like that's a very similar situation also where it's like, yeah, if they didn't have that, they just couldn't win. Like they couldn't do anything. It's like the Clover Kingdom is only fighting back right now because Yuno and Asta gave them buffs.
Mm-hmm. Which that could be said to be, very thematic. The two broke niggas coming up and helping everybody out, showing that everyone has a place in the world and yada, yada, yada. But we're not talking themes. We're talking fraudulence. So where do we want to put it?
Is, if we're going to compare that being powered up by, a very powerful character, you could also say that the Shinobi Alliance did more with their power up because it's like, Clover Kingdom, they're finally beating the henchmen of Lucius, the goons, if you will.
Oh my.
And you know what happened in the Fourth Great Ninja War? Rock Lee kicked Madara in half.
That was pretty raw.
So, I'm just saying, they accomplished more with their buff.
Hold on, this comment from Weary Exile's crazy. Meet mid Clover, 0 deaths, 0 interesting villains, 7 copied ideals and panels.
Damn. Nice, guys.
Oh my god. Bro is a hater. I'm proud of it.
I agree, but that's funny.
Right,
Another one, Sleeping Danger, saying, William looked at base and said, Wallahi, I'm so finished.
Yeah, he's like, oh my god, it's Himothy. He immediately forfeited his title as captain of the Golden Dawn.
Oh, damn, he from the Himalayas? Shit.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like William's kind of really bringing down the class average on Clover Kingdom. It might be over.
Bro, Jack is right there.
Bro, Jack killed Dante, though. Not too much. Not too much. Jack killed Dante.
I was gonna say he died, but he didn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, he didn't.
Okay, I'll just say this. I'll say where I think they should be, and then we can vote. If anyone that doesn't have anything else to say. I think, we're going pretty hard on them. I think potential scammer.
I was thinking fraud watch. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, no, because I do think there are a lot of characters in the Clover Kingdom I really like, and there are some really powerful ones.
That's true.
It's kind of unfortunate for them because Tabata wrote it in a way where it's like they literally are ineffective without the specific power they need. Yeah. So it's like I can't go too hard on them. Like, they are definitely fraudulent, but it's also at the same time, it's like, man, it's not their fault. And like Zia said, it's like a lot of them aren't even like, it's, they're just like fucking regular people. I'd put them in potential scammer. I think that's
I would put them, in there too, but in the middle between.
Yeah, I was about to say in the middle. I think in the middle is a good spot for him. Now,
to be honest, whenever I was making my own personal fraud watchy list, I saw that and I was just like, because I didn't look at the ones that you had set up So I thought it was like, oh, it's just the captains. Absolutely fun watch.
I mean, yeah, bro, they were the strongest. I feel like that would be a good pick.
But yeah,
but I feel like the entirety of the
whole
Clover Kingdom is
Kingdom's
funnier.
a bit crazy. Potential scammer.
It's much funnier. Okay.
My time is here. My time is here.
So here we go. We have next up on the list, we have Kishibe from Chainsaw Man. So Zenith, I'll let you lead the discussion on this one.
This one's all me because I started this like Kishibe being a fraud thing. As far as I know, maybe there were discussions beforehand. As far as I know, I started this because he doesn't do anything. And you know what's crazy? I realized this when I was getting comments on my videos, like about him being the strongest devil hunter. The strongest devil hunter. He is the strongest. It is the most self-proclaimed title in all of Shonen. No one else backs it up. He gets, like, some respect from Yoshida, and guess what? He's on the fraud tier list, alright? It ain't exactly a glowing recommendation.
Damn.
One fraud, glazing another fraud, it ain't exactly good PR. So, what has he accomplished in the series? He beats Quan Chi's,
her
harem.
fiends, yeah.
He, loses to base Quan Chi in a fight.
Oh, that's the strongest human right there.
And then he, and then he gives Denji a child and leaves.
Hey, yo.
He's like, here, take care of this.
And beat some teenagers for fun.
Nah. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry, Wary Exile. I guess it wasn't self-proclaimed. He's got his fan base repping him too. My bad. He ain't the only one hyping him up.
Weary Exile donates $5. Says, "Good Lord, Sailor, my goat Kishibe is innocent. He was just too drunk to appear in part 2. Sir Zenith is capping."
Damn.
Forgot his alarm.
Damn.
I have never seen a man go from determined to kill the main villain to just so out of his depth in a single chapter.
How often? Because here's the thing, right? That's a very, very popular, like, trope in shonen, where it's like the strongest character, the titles. Because One Piece has it, JJK has it, like every series has it, like this is the strongest. Kishibe got that title, but he gave it to himself. How often does that happen? Where it's like the only fucking like evidence we have of it's the character themselves being like, yeah, I'm the strongest.
Yeah,
And then it's
and
like-
isn't that immediately undermined by Quan Chi and like her introduction though?
Well, yeah, she is the strongest.
Yeah,
she was when she was a devil hunter.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like it's not even. It's just straight up fucking. He gave
Why did
himself
he
the
say
title and he's
that?
wrong.
yeah. He definitely can't say that now that she's a devil hunter again.
Mm-hmm.
She definitely can't say that shit. Yeah. So
I'm the strongest.
I forgot.
Not counting her though.
I forgot
Alright,
she's a devil hunter again.
yeah.
I am fully on Xena's side. He is a certified fraud.
Ooh, certified
Wow.
fraud.
Certified.
Wow.
Certified.
Not even
Yeah.
fraud watch.
What has he done?
What
Like,
has he
what
done?
has he actually accomplished?
That's really true.
Bro, he drank a lot
I
of
want to think of
alcohol.
something, but I know I can't.
He
Let's-
trained
let's-
Power and Denji, you know.
Let's go back to the theory
I'll
of
tell you.
fraud
his
relativity.
most- Oh, yeah. Bringing it back. Hell yeah.
Yeah, because like his like, I think the amount of hype he had compared to his actual performance is very telling. Like it's
That is true.
like he was supposed to be that guy within the Devil Hunters. Like he's badass. He's training Denji and Power, and he does. But it's like he doesn't do fucking anything, dude, outside of like that.
I want to just mention Sleeping Danger's
Yeah.
comment. There is no difference between Kishibe and the world's strongest painter, Mihawk.
Oh shit!
Yeah, we should add Miyako on the list. I'm not gonna cap.
I was wondering,
Yeah.
like, what me?
I
That's
thought
surprising.
about it. Yeah, I thought about it.
Yeah, I get we don't want to have too many characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Next
yeah.
time we'll make a 2024 fraud list, and then we'll add them there.
All right, now the question is Kishibe more of a fraud than our certified frauds? Like, I would say he's less of a fraud than Fuego
Less.
Leon.
I was
You know?
gonna say fraud watch,
Less.
but yeah, I think he's less of a fraud
I'm
than
putting him
both of them.
certified. I'm putting him certified. I
Oh,
think
shit.
I'm
I'm cool with
handing him
certified,
the
honestly.
certification as we speak.
I think for
I
how
think he's-
important he is, yeah, I think he's a certified.
I think he belongs
think
at bottom
bottom
of certified. Then yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bottom of certified right now. Currently bottom of certified because I think the issue with the other two is they are being glazed by the narrators.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I was about
Yeah.
to say. The story
Yeah.
itself brings the other two up, while Kishibe is just like, yeah, I'm the best, and it's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
we can do a vote.
Kishibe is the only one
Personally,
hyping himself up.
Yeah,
So
we can do
honestly,
a vote.
I'm fine
can
with
do a vote.
certified fraud. I was just saying, I would put him in fraud watch, but it seems like I've already been
I've
outvoted.
watched
So
enough.
yeah, I've already
I
been
rest
outvoted,
my
so it's okay. Yeah,
Certified.
he is a certified fraud. I was not expecting that. Okay, all right.
You know, I came in swinging, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Next
this next one
up,
should be interesting.
yeah, this one will be interesting. We have Gojo Satoru from
Here's the
Jujutsu
thing.
Kaisen.
Right? Because he is a fraud. Like,
Wow.
first thing I see
No,
in the
hold
chat is
on, hold
nah,
on.
I'd lose.
I'm
Hold
gonna
on,
say they
hold
were
on.
framed for Gojo. I ain't gonna lie.
he is objectively a fraud. He said that he is the strongest, and that isn't true. That is his title and hype compared to the reality is false.
I still say he was framed.
Nah,
Also,
I don't
if
believe
we're
it.
going off the logic of Kishibe, his whole thing where it's like between heaven and earth, I alone am the honored one. Again, self-proclaimed. The only other person called the honored one is Sukuna, and it's done so by the narrator.
Oh, brother, he's bringing up the fan scans. Oh, brother, he's bringing up fan scans.
Hey, man, I've seen the officials. And they're not great at it.
Okay, so this is how I feel about Gojo, right? I think more than any other fucking character on this list, he is the most framed.
Yes.
He
I
was
think he's
framed,
absolutely
dude.
framed.
Because he was
100%.
for a long time the strongest character in the series, and he
back up.
absolutely lived up to that title.
Yeah.
And he was absolutely fucking winning that fight. I know the narrator, whoever fucking else has stated otherwise. He himself, Gojo was like, "Oh, Sukuna could have won." No, he wasn't. He fucking wasn't.
No,
Gojo
yeah.
was absolutely winning that fight
Yes.
until he didn't.
Gojo, so the
Until
whole
the story
thing,
said no more.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
like,
the whole thing was,
Tommy framed the fuck out of him.
yeah, like Gojo, he was just like, oh yeah, it'd be tough to fight a full power Sukuna, but I'd win.
Yeah.
He not only fought a full power Sukuna, he fought a full power Sukuna with the full power of the 10 shadows. 10 shadows, which the previous users, when they fought the Six Eyes, whatever, the people with the Limitless and the Six Eyes, they both like killed each other. So that's like two things working against Gojo. And Gojo dog walked the shit out of this nigga. He dog walked Sukuna for most of the fight. And like it would be one thing because Sukuna was like obviously like it's gonna sound funny, but Sukuna getting his ass whooped had to be a part of his plan until it got to the point where 235 came along and Sukuna was like, okay, I have finally leveled the playing field. I have finally done everything that I can. I took away his domain. He has slower healing. I took away
Called him
blue.
ordinary.
Yeah, called him ordinary. Like I think,
Talked him.
yeah, I am going to win this fight now. Gojo says, "Nah, I don't think so, buddy." Lands a black flash, and Sukuna's like, "Oh, damn, that was crazy." Lands another black flash, and Sukuna's like, "Hey, yo, like this nigga, I did so much to bring this nigga down, and he has the nerve to get stronger. What the fuck?" lands another black flash. He's like, what is happening, bro? Like, what the fuck is going on? And then when he sends up red and you have Sukuna freaking out, you have Gojo, like right before it connects, it cuts to Yuta being like, one of the strongest characters in the series being like, I would have just gotten the way. And Hollow Purple connects? Like, oh my God.
One of the most insane performances in any manga.
It is the most I'm him chapter I think I've ever read in my life.
And then the next chapter, he's dead.
He's fucking
Just
cooked.
dead.
The
Hey,
next
you've had your
fucking
fun.
chapter.
He
Now,
got
I just wanna
set
say,
up,
I just want to
man.
say, I'm not arguing for him to go like high or anything.
Mhm.
I'm just saying he ain't beating the allegations. That's all I'm trying to put.
I don't
out.
think he beats the allegations either, but
No,
I
he
think he
doesn't.
was framed. Yeah.
No, he was framed.
Super
Yeah, he,
Yeah.
does, he doesn't.
I
beat
think he's
allegations.
like at the
he's
top
all
of they were
framed.
framed. Yeah, they were
He's
at the
not
top
bottom,
of framed.
you know,
Yeah.
That's all. That's all I'm trying to say.
I
Fair.
always say this, but like, in what world, like, the moment he lands, like, he actually lands Infinite Void on Sukuna, and he says, I'm going to kill you worse than, like, what Yuji had when his heart was ripped out. In what world does Sukuna win if he didn't have 10 shadows?
Bro,
What's this I hear?
I'm telling
Nothing?
you.
There
I'm
you go.
telling you, bro. Gojo could have just ended the fucking series the second he gets out of the
could've
box.
fucking ended it.
The
Exactly.
second he gets out of the box, he has 15-finger Sukuna and Kenjaku, who was like pissing and shitting himself when Gojo showed up. So like, he could have just ended the series there, but just decided not to for literally no reason. But hey, that's another discussion we can get into when we talk about Sukuna. For right now, we're going to talk about his former host, Yuji Itadori. Now listen, guy like me, I think he beat the allegations. And here's why. For the
Certified.
longest time, I had to listen to these bums call my goat a punch and kick merchant. And my goat got some more tools in the bag. He's got some more in the arsenal. I think he's beat the allegations. You know, at the start of the year, he had a really good showing against Sukuna. Then, of course, we fall off. We don't get, like, any Yuji content for, like, the rest of the year. And then after that, you know, he's punching upwards. He's trying his best in this battle. He's putting in more work than a lot of other people right now. I think Yuji has beat the allegations.
All right, so here's why you're wrong.
No, brother. Here we go.
So, here's the thing, right? Now I agree. The punch and kick merge fair, right? In fact, that's actually something in his favor, right? Because the fact that he's done so well without a curse technique, go him. You know, I can't hype up Kusakabe for the same stuff and then, you know, call Yuji a fraud for it, right? That's not fair. The thing is, now, I think in the Cullen games, he's kind of a fraud. Because straight up, right after Shibuya, he gets hyped up. You know, you got Chozo there, glazing him in the corner like, oh, he's a demon god now. He's insane. After beating up a child. Because that's what Mahito is. He ain't reached his full potential. He's a child.
Oh,
He ain't done
my
anything.
God.
All right? And then he goes on to just every victory, every fight, having some kind of an asterisk next to it. You know, yeah, there's the fight with he does well. Higuruma didn't want to kill him. Then there's the fight with Sukuna, you know, when that fight first happens. He does well, and Sukuna was nerfed by Megumi in that fight. And also, he performed worse than Maki. And now, we're here. He ain't really doing anything. He's losing.
He's
in his
punching
only bag.
way above his pay grade right now. Everyone else that you've mentioned,
Everyone's punching above their pay grade.
no, all of those examples that you mentioned, Yuji is punching above his pay grade. He beat up some cursed spirits and like, oh, he got better, cool. Then you have Naoya, who was like going to be ahead of one of the big three clans and the greatest misogynist we've ever seen in manga. Speed rush him with a crazy ass technique, and then he has to fight Yuta. Like, oh God. Then after that, you have Higuruma, a guy who was compared to fucking special grades the second he got his technique. A natural born genius in the world of jujutsu, and he put up a good fight against him. Then he fights against Sukuna, the king of curses. Like, okay, buddy. And now he's fighting Sukuna again, and he's doing pretty well. Like, yeah, he's not the best, but he's doing very good for what he's doing right now. I think he beat the allegations.
I think there's one very important key bit of information you both left out.
What's that?
That I think really matters. Now, I'm not looking at this from the point of view of wins and losses or how strong he is or anything like that.
Oh God, are you going to bring up the Hana chapter?
No, he's the main character of the series.
Oh God.
Do we really feel like
a guy like me? I do.
I mean, like you said, like he's punching way above his pay grade. It's like he's the main character, and he's barely making
his pay grade.
He's the main character of the series, and he's barely a factor.
Whoa, not too much on my goat. He has a lot.
Bro,
he has. Listen, he's punching.
He'd lose a track race.
He's punching above his pay grade, and he also has other stuff in the back office that he can pull out. You know, we haven't seen everything yet, so he could get even better. I think in the year 2024, where my goat has added more to his kit and beat the punch and kick allegations, where my goat has displayed pretty good feats against people way above him.
No.
I think he's gotten some pretty good stuff going on this year. Even though we didn't get a lot of Yuji, 2024 is our year. 2023, the streets were a little malnourished, but 2024, the streets will be fed. I think he beat the allegations.
I think Sleeping Danger brought up a great point. He said, Yuji is fake as fuck, bro. Said, I don't want to replace Nobara, then replace Nobara 8 pages later.
Okay, that one was just bad. I can't argue against that. That was dog shit. Yeah, that was dog shit.
Okay, Jig and Ty, do you guys have anything?
I think he's framed.
Do you guys have anything to say about Yuji?
I will take they were framed. I will take they were framed for Yuji.
I'd even put him in potential scammer. Personally,
I think the highest would go is framed.
All right, I think he's more framed than Gojo, though, at least.
Reasonable.
I personally think, because like I'm not really big into JJK, so I don't really know a lot. But I will say, I can't think of a lot of Yuji moments that I love.
Oh my God!
But I can't say I hate him, and I can't say he's like getting his ass beat. I'm saying he is being framed. My man's being framed, but he's not beating nothing. He's not beating no allegations.
Damn.
Sorry, Jigo, what do you say?
I wish, as a main character, he got to do just a little bit more. I want that, at least. And you know what? I'm not going to put him any higher than, like, they were framed. That's just all that there needs to be done. Because he's not really scamming anyone, because it's not like the series or even himself is saying, like, well, I can do X, Y, and Z. And it's just like, nah, he's just there, vibing, and whatever he does fairly well, if not better than what most people expect.
Personally, I would put him on the bottom of framed.
Yeah,
I would put him below Gojo and Kizaru.
I'd put him top of framed personally.
We will put him at the bottom.
I just don't think he's matching his hype. That's all.
What do you mean? We are being constantly told he sucks.
Here's the thing. The only hype he has is the fact that he's the main character, right? But that's like a kind of meta thing. In the series itself, the series doesn't really treat him like he's that's like really
he's
all
no
that.
like, oh, the chosen one.
Yeah, like even like when they were like talking about like the final battle, Yuta was like more of a like Yuta mattered more. Like when they were formulating the plan, they weren't like, okay, Yuji, this is what you're gonna do. It's like, no, Yuta's gonna do this, and then we'll like try to survive. It's like he's not him, you know.
I think what really sets Yuji apart as a main character is that the characters in the series don't see him as the main character. Because you know how, like, near end of Naruto, everybody's glazing Naruto, everybody's like, oh, save Soul Society, Ichigo. Not very many characters acknowledge Yuji in series, and I think that's really what sets him a bit apart. And that's why I think that he doesn't have that same kind of the same hype as a usual main character does, which is why I don't think he doesn't have a lot to live up to. Therefore,
Frank surely is just another cog in the machine.
Yeah, I'd put him bottom if they were framed.
You know what? I will take it. I will take that. It's okay. 2024, we're moving him into the beat the allegations, man. My guy's gonna go crazy. But
for your sake,
that motherfucker to hell.
Oh, my guy's gonna go crazy. But
it was just in the first layer, though. It's all good.
Yeah. For a guy who will do no such thing, we have Megumi Fushiguro. I feel.
Oh boy.
I feel like he is just the top of certified fraud.
He is the biggest fraud. Like I think I've ever seen in Shonen.
Yeah, it's bad.
I think it says a lot about him that Sailor originally didn't even put him on the list because it's like what's the point?
It's obvious. It's a layup, you know.
Yeah, like he's the crowning champion.
Yeah.
Of fraudulent, like just.
Yeah,
it doesn't get more fraudulent than Megumi.
The absolute original potential man 007. He has it all. He made these titles.
Chat's going crazy. Megumi means his own tier, potential man himself, fraud among fraud.
That's true, honestly, Sailor, you should make another tier.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Just Megumi.
Just like the Megumi tier, like
sure, yeah.
Champion.
Adding Robo.
This was all nothing but a race for second place.
We'll make it, I don't know, we'll make it blue.
I don't think it can be, like...
Oh, wait, no. Keep this red. Make this one blue.
I don't think it can be understated that he just has the best technique in the series. Like...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it is. With Maharaga, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, even without Maharaga, it's one of the most versatile. And just being able to, like, slip in and out of shadows, you can do so much in terms of sneak attacks. There is so much he can do, and yet he does so little.
I thought about this, like, last night as well as, like, it's always been said that, no users of the 10 Shadows have, like, tamed Maharaga. So if that's the case, then does that mean, like, the story that Gojo was telling that where
that's too long.
it's like a 6-Eyes user against a 10 Shadows user? Does that mean the 10 Shadows user didn't even have Maharaga?
He didn't have it tamed.
He basically, so we don't know exactly the context.
Yeah.
Megumi assumed
I tried to fit it all in there.
that he must have used it the same way that Megumi uses it, as just a suicide attack.
Yeah.
Which, that speaks more to Megumi's character, because he just assumes, like, that people are as fraudulent as him.
Yeah. He's like, surely niggas can't be this good.
I mean, I've talked about it before on the podcast, because I've compared it to Kurapika's Emperor Time. Kurapika's Emperor Time is literally one of the most insanely powerful abilities in Hunter x Hunter. And it's that powerful because it's a limit. He can only use it on 10 people in the entire world filled with billions of people.
Mm-hmm.
And it allows him to use every Nen type. Like, pretty much mastered. Mm-hmm. Megumi can just do that.
Yeah.
He can use, like, so many different abilities, and at such a high level. Like you said, he's the potential man. Like, he literally has the best ability in the series, and he just fucking doesn't use it.
It's insane, because I was thinking about this a few nights ago, where it's like, I never really thought more, because I'll be honest, that once the narrative told me Megumi sucks, I kind of just stopped thinking about him. But, like, I started to think about it, and it's like, man, Megumi has he really is just potential, man. Because when you think about what JJK is trying to say now, where you know, like, oh, you have to be entirely selfish. You have to, you know, not care about other people, blah, blah, blah. That's how you get stronger. And Gojo's more on the other end, where it's like, well, yeah, I'm strong, but I still, like, care about people, and I still want people to understand me. Megumi is like a healthy balance in the middle, where he is capable of that same cruelty that Sukuna displays, but also, like, just wants a normal life, like, just wants to be around Tsumiki and his friends and stuff like that. And so it's really interesting. Like, it would be really cool to see how Megumi, like, what path he would choose, especially since Megumi has Mahoraga, because he can adapt to any and all phenomena, which means that nobody can force their ideals on this guy. He's his own person. He's a fucking anomaly that the world has not seen since his dad, basically. And, like, he has so much stuff. And it would be really interesting to see, like, what it was, because Megumi used to be a piece of shit. Not as big a piece of shit as, like, a Sukuna. He murdered people. But, like, he used to follow that same mindset of, like, I'm just going to do what I want, and, like, I don't much care about anybody else. But it was his relationship with Tsumiki that changed him. So what was it that made a person like Megumi transform into the person he is today? Especially with what the story keeps fucking bringing up with Sukuna, like, oh, I'll teach you what love is and blah, blah, blah. But, like, it would be really interesting to see what it was that made Megumi the way that he is. And we just kind of don't know. And none of that other stuff that I really talked about with Megumi ever happens. He just gets thrown in the dumpster for the sake of, well, thematically, it makes sense. And like, it's so disappointing. Like, I just got sad when I started to think about that. Like, he has so much stuff in the story that he could do, and I'm sure a lot of people will argue that that's the point, you know, like I just brought up. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know, like, how many times does a theme need to be reinforced? Like, how many good characters do we need to throw in the garbage bin to reinforce it? And like, before enough is just enough. Like, I don't know, man. It's a sad case for him.
Megumi perfectly encapsulates the themes of the series. There used to be a time where all of us, except, like, I don't know about Tai, but me, Zenith, Jiga, and Sailor, we all used to really love Megumi.
Yeah.
I like him.
And now we don't.
Yeah. Because, like, why would I care about him? The story don't.
Yeah, like, why should I care?
The moment that, like, made me realize, damn, like, at first I was like, I'll give him a benefit of a doubt, just a little bit, but then it's like, okay, well, now you literally have no excuses. Like, the moment I think that really started, like, putting him on this, wow, what is your problem, dude, is when Sukuna took his body, obviously. And it's like, okay, well, you can't do much about that. But it's more like when he started using his technique better than him.
Oh my god, so much better. Yeah.
And then we saw, like, wait, he has, like, this Shishigami, he could do this, it can heal the bull, all this stuff, and it's like, wow, that's crazy. He didn't unlock any of that. Well, then again, it's like,
literally,
no, he didn't just unlock them, so it's fine. But the moment that made me say, okay, Megumi, you literally had no excuse on this planet to not be a master of this, and that's just at least using the wolves, right?
Yeah.
He couldn't even do that. Sukuna in a heartbeat did it better than him, and it's like, he's had them since he was a literal child for like 10 years, and he's not even good at using those.
It's
what the fuck?
Because, like, with the deer, he could have just had free RCT.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane. That is, like, considered... Being able to use that is considered, like, such a defining factor of, like, a good sorcerer. Is, like...
Yeah.
That's one of those things, you know, up there with, like, domain expansion and, you know, a maximum. Like it's up there as one of those big things. He had it for free.
Literally a free med pack just in his pocket. And on top of that, he could put that, like, RCT into, like, attacks, too. And fuck people up that way. Yeah, like... with reversal techniques and shit like that, like, that's yeah. But
it's so crazy that he had all of that just so Sukuna could use it.
Yeah, just so someone else could use it better than him.
all of his abilities existed for Sukuna.
Yep.
And if that doesn't piss you off, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah,
Yep.
it makes me mad. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Like, it was, I think it was, like, so crazy because when he first took over Megumi's body, I was like, oh shit. Like, I was obviously like super hyped because I was like, oh my gosh, this is just an insane development. Holy shit. Like, this literally changes the story forever. Yeah, it did. But I
was so hyped when I first saw it. I thought that was genius when I saw that chapter.
And
man.
Yeah, like looking back on it, I was rereading those chapters for the pod today, and going back, it's like finding out Sumiki was never really alive to begin with. It was just always Yorozu pretending to be Sumiki. And then immediately, before we even get to like get a real reaction out of Megumi, before we get to sit on that literal bomb that just got dropped on his lap, we just immediately cut to like, oops, Sukuna's got your body, and now nothing matters. Like with Megumi, it's like,
goodbye,
wow.
Your paycheck's in the mail, don't
like,
come back.
Literally, like all of Megumi's emotional moments were connected to Sumiki. Like, obviously, I had other connections with other characters, but like that was his end goal. Yeah, like that was the person he cared about the most. And seeing that just get snatched away from him and the ramifications of that, before we even get the chance to like fully feel that weight, we just get another bomb dropped on our lap with Sukuna, which again made for a really hype moment in the moment. But looking back on it now, it's like, damn, man. Damn, that's just another case of Megumi being potential, man. It's unfortunate.
I always at least thought like, oh, his body got stolen, and it's like the most twisted roundabout way of like one of the first things Megumi said, pretty much starting the Culling games, is like, oh, Yuji, the first thing you should do is like save me. Like, start by saving me and everything. It's like, oh well, now's the prime opportunity. It's like, it doesn't matter, that nigga is dead.
Megumi is
super
hella dead.
Well, like,
yeah.
They said that, Ten Shadows is done for, and at the beginning of the Culling games, they straight up say it's like, yeah, curse technique removal is equivalent to death. Like, that means death.
Yeah, you just died.
So,
which
like,
is weird because I feel like Sukuna should die too, but hey, whatever.
And even if Ten Shadows like only got removed, or it's like he's no longer using it, 5 infinite voids to your head is not doing you any favors.
Not at all. Yeah. It's bad for Megumi. It's like, I feel like there's always like every now and then Akutami just does something to be like, guys, no, he's like gone. like
just in case you forgot.
Yeah, like when the Sumiki shit happened, it's like, oh man, like he's real. Like, well, not even before that, because he gets his body jacked, and then after that, you have Sukuna bathe in all the gross, nasty shit. It's like, damn, Megumi is like really gone. Because he was like still fighting back before that, but he got suppressed, and then he's like, oh well, actually I need something to make sure he's super ultra omega dead. So then he kills Sumiki, and it's like, damn. Then after that, it's like, oh, he also got hit with 5 unlimited voids. It's like, oh my god. Then it's like, oh, he also had his technique it's just gone. It's like, oh wow, okay.
It literally is like the one like meme, I forgot what series it is, but it's just like the dude who's in the hospital bed, but it's just his head.
Yeah, that's Megumi at this point.
Like, that's just exactly what happened to him.
It's rough. Yeah.
Hold on,
that head is fucked up.
Hold on, I was zoned out for a little bit. Are we still talking about Megumi?
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
I feel like we should move on.
He's
Well,
just that much of a front.
We had to, I didn't think it would be this long either, but like the more we just started getting into it, it's like, damn, this guy really does.
Yeah,
it's
sucks. Crazy because he's probably the one we talked about the longest, and he was decided from frame 1.
He was the layup, yeah. Okay, so we can move on to the next one. We have Yuta Akotsu. Yeah, no, that's fine. We have Yuta Akotsu from JJK. I feel like he is prime for Beat the Allegations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he literally did, right?
Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he killed Kenjaku like that, because he said like, I'm gonna get these points.
Yeah.
I'm going to kill Kenjaku. Like he said he was gonna do all that stuff. He did.
Yeah, he did
Yeah.
He
He
did
did
all
it.
of it.
Yeah.
Everything he said he was gonna do, he did.
it. You
Yeah.
literally can't argue against that.
He
did it.
literally he just stands on business. Yeah. I feel like
I love
Yuta
the-
is a layup.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love the one podcast where you were talking about how people kept coming up to you and asking you, like, well, yo, what if Yuta didn't do that? What if Yuta doesn't kill Kenjaku? You just said, well, guess we'll never
I guess
know.
we'll never know.
Damn it,
That was
man.
the-
I guess we'll never know, man. Hey, the sneakiest prevails. Next up, we have Kaido from One Piece. Taco, I'm going to let you take this one because you were the one who
You can
recommended
start.
Kaido for this list.
Kaido is fraudulent,
Oh, okay.
but
Damn.
it's not his own fault. Okay,
Yeah, of course.
because he absolutely is one of the most powerful characters in the series. It took everyone taking shots at him to finally take him down. And he absolutely should have killed multiple characters. Oda did him dirty, bro. Oda is. I've said it before. I think it was on one of the previous podcasts, and it's interesting that it's the next two characters we're talking about. You know how, like in JJK, Sukuna is possibly like he gets luck so often. Akutami goes out of his way to do everything in his power to make it to save him, to
The
keep him
literal
from
universe
consequences.
bends
Mhm.
itself for him.
Yeah.
Kaido's the opposite, where everything went wrong for him. Luffy got lucky. Luffy fucking died.
Yeah.
He killed Luffy. His fucking heart stopped, and he came back. Kaido did everything right, but nothing went right for him. And it's because Oda just didn't want to let he absolutely should have killed Kennymon.
Oh yeah.
Like that was like I have no words for that. And it's like I'm disappointed with Kaido for some things, but also at the same time I still really like Kaido. Personally, I would put him at like the very top of They Were Framed or the very like bottom of Potential Scammer. I think he's around there. Because his title was the world's strongest creature. I think he lived up to that title.
Yeah, he was tough. He was a genuine raid boss.
Mm-hmm. But he just wasn't like allowed to like do anything too crazy.
Got
His
every question
goal-
right, but still a 0.
It's crazy because his goal was to start the biggest war ever. You know, a thing that notably kills people.
Yeah.
Start the biggest altercation ever first.
Yep.
I just want to say I love the one tweet where it's like Kaido whenever he gets hit by Luffy's movie budget level Sakuga punch for the 50th week in a row. That shit killed me.
Okay, so I stepped away to run to the bathroom. Did we figure out where we want to put Kaido?
I'd put him in front.
That's tough, man, because it really isn't his fault. But like, he is. He's a fraud.
Do we want to
He's
put
very
him?
overframed.
I think he was though. I think he was just framed though.
Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause
Yeah.
I think
that was,
Taco
like,
does put up a
Oda-
pretty good point.
I think
That's
framed
Oda
is a good one.
shenanigans. That's nothing he could have done
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
It's not- 'cause
that's just
the
One
thing, right?
Piece being One Piece.
It's different from like All for One, where it's like, oh yeah, he's powerful, but he's just dumb. It's like Kaido's not dumb. Like he makes the right choices most of the time. Like
Yeah.
it's just they just don't work. Like he does stuff and they just don't do what he like wanted to. He stabbed Kennymon. He's like, all right, Kennymon's dead. Kennymon just split in half and he was fine.
Yeah.
With Law's ability.
Yeah.
Like 200 chapters ago.
That was
It's
such
like-
an insane chapter.
Yeah, like there's just there was nothing Kaido could have done.
Yeah. So
I think it's funny. There's that there's that tweet where it's like who would win between Sukuna and Kaido, and it's like Gege would find a way Gege would make Sukuna win. He would find a way to make Sukuna win, and Oda would find a way for Kaido to lose.
Absolutely, bro. Yeah.
Both worlds.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So
Sleeping Danger says Kaido having a 0 kill count is crazy, which it is.
it is. It's absolutely insane.
He
Yeah.
should have absolutely killed
He beheaded
someone.
Orochi, and it just didn't count.
Bro,
Oh my
I
God,
remember that
Orochi.
chapter.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
I
That was
would have
such
been
a sick
so
moment.
fine. Yeah, I would have been so fine if Orochi just died there. I'm not gonna
Dude,
lie.
Kaido beheaded Orochi, cut Kinemon in half, and killed Luffy. And all 3 of those characters survived.
Yeah, they just got back up. Yeah.
All 3 of them did not die.
Didn't hurt.
Yeah. One of them
It's like
unlocked a
literally
god power
he
afterwards.
was
Yeah.
trying his hardest.
Yeah. So where do we want to put him in They Were Framed? Do we want to put him at the
I
top?
put
Or do
him
we want
towards
to...
the top,
Yeah, do we want to
Yeah,
put
put
him
him at the
under
very top.
Gojo or above Gojo?
above.
Yeah, I feel like that's fair.
I
Yeah.
kill him, and he comes back with Looney Tune powers. What is
Yeah.
this?
Now, this will make for an interesting discussion. Next up, we have Ryomen Sukuna from JJK. I'll be honest. Even though he's accomplished a lot this year, I brought it up in VC last night. You can still be a fraud with feats. I want to
That's
put him
true.
in Fraud Watch. And the reason why is just because of all of the mental gymnastics and the backflips, the back breaking that the story has to do to present Sukuna in the way that he is right now. Now, I will say, in the recent chapter that came out at the start of this year, the one with Higuruma, I think Sukuna looked very smart, but I would even still put him in Fraud Watch because of all of the bullshit that got Sukuna to this point. Like we brought it up before in a podcast, like Sukuna takes Megumi's body, would have immediately gotten nuked by Hana, but Hana was horny for him, so hey, she just fell for the dumbest trick of all the times. Then afterwards, runs into Gojo, and Gojo's like, I could just end the series right now, but I will not. And I remember a lot of people were like, well, he's just trying to figure out a way to save Megumi. Gojo's strategy to save Megumi was, I'll worry about that later. So literally no reason. Then you have the Gojo and Sukuna fight where Sukuna would have lost on 3 separate occasions had it not been for 10 Shadows. Then afterwards, the story saying, yeah, no, he could have just won without that. He could have just won without it. He's so strong. Sukuna would have just beat him. It's just straight up. Then after that, he beats up on Kashimo, which certified fraud. That's not impressive at all. And then after that, he has the whole thing with Higuruma and the court case and just how dog ass that was. Sukuna, yeah, I believe he's top of Fraud Watch. I am.
I agree with everything you said. I put him in Fraud Watch.
I disagree.
Oh,
I would
okay.
put him top of potential scammer because he is the problem with Sukuna is that all of his accomplishments are a solid mixture of genuine skill and insane luck. Like, the stuff he does in his fight with Gojo is real. Like, genuinely, there are so many feats of skill. How he uses 10 shadows, how he's, adapting to what Gojo's doing, aside from the Maharaga stuff. Not, aside from literal adaptation, his, actual adaptation.
I think the Maharaga stuff was sick too, man. It's literally just the problems. The story doesn't present it that way.
The problem is it presents his luck as skill, despite him having enough feats of skill to not be necessary.
Yes.
And that is what makes him fraudulent, but I think he has enough to back him up in terms of skill to where I don't want to put him on genuine Fraud Watch.
I think he is a fraud for not only the reasons that I listed, but Hall of Fame, top 5 funniest page of all my life. The fucking manga going, guys, you don't get how strong he is. He beat the Stars, Moon, and Sun Squad along with the 5 Void Generals. Nigga, the 5 Void Generals, woo, What y'all know about that, man? That nigga's so nasty, isn't he? And it's literally like, I don't know if you guys have seen that meme from like the Breakfast Club interview. It's just the guy going, "Who are these niggas?" Like, that's just how I felt. That's how I felt reading that page, bro. And just the fact that Sukuna has to constantly get bailed out of situations. And on top of that, another thing that we haven't even mentioned, I guess we kind of got into it with the Gojo stuff, but the glazing. Oh my God, dude. This man activated kill myself mode. Kashimo activated I'm going to kill myself mode just to be like, wow, Sukuna-sama subarashi. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Beautiful.
Called him beautiful, brother.
Called him perfection.
Yeah. And it's the fact, another reason why, oh, the music stopped. Hold on, chat. Let me throw that back on for everybody. Another reason why I think Sukuna is in Fraud Watch is the fact that the story has to constantly try to gas him up. Because Gojo, everyone knows he was the power ceiling for the story. And Sukuna beating him, even though it was stupid, at least the end of the fight. The rest of the fight I did enjoy. But even though the end was dumb and made the rest of the fight pretty bad, IMO, Sukuna beat the power ceiling of the series. Okay, he is now the strongest. So why the fuck can we not at least let Kashimo dance a little bit, bro? Why can't we let Kashimo do anything cool? Well, that's because, and I've brought it up before, Sukuna is a gag character. We can't let him have anything against Sukuna. Sukuna needs more feats. Sukuna needs to beat up the guy. He need not only just beat him up, he needs to dog walk the guy that had a technique that was specifically made to face him, and it's so powerful it even kills the user. It can make any and all electrical phenomena. Like, such an insanely cool and insanely powerful curse technique. And Sukuna's like, yeah, whatever, bitch, fuck you. Kills him. Then after that, you have Higuruma, who has like a really cool domain, and Sukuna's just like, yeah, no, I don't care about that. Oh man, Sukuna, he beat down on this genius level sorcerer, and he was he had the executioner sword, and he had this ability to one tap Sukuna, and Sukuna beat him, and like, oh man, look at all these other powerful people that he fought in the past, and he's so much faster than the other characters. Choso, a guy who has piercing blood, that move is fast, right? Sukuna just speed blitzed him. Oh my god, dude, he's so crazy. I think he's on Fraud Watch. I think it's kind of ridiculous how much the story has to do to make Sukuna look intimidating, when before he just had that aura naturally. Like, Sukuna would just show up, throw hands, wreak devastation. Yeah, and
this one we're gonna have to vote.
I vote Fraud Watch.
No, he's Fraud Watch
because potential scammer.
Because for me, here's what it is. It's, again, the story saying, for example, oh, well, he could have just beaten Gojo without 10 shadows. Okay, how?
I will not elaborate on how. He just could have.
How would he do that? He literally had like this 19-layered plan to specifically get 10 shadows from Maharaga to beat him. So how could he beat him without it? If he didn't have it, he would have lost, and we've seen that. So
nope, he would have just won.
Right there.
Nah, he just won.
Won.
What are you saying, Tom?
I'm saying Fraud Watch.
Fraud Watch. Okay, well, that's
all right. Yeah,
you're
so
outvoted.
Yeah.
Fraud Watch.
Do we put him above the Witch Queen or below?
I would put him below.
I don't. You put him wherever you want.
No, well, he's going where I want him then. Let's go. Next up, we have useless Crapton mid. So
that motherfucker straight to hell.
Well, hold on, Taco. Hold on. He's kid's strongest soldier. He's Eustace kid's strongest soldier. I probably shouldn't say you're a kid's strongest soldier. But we'll let him speak his piece. What do you got to say, Taco?
Now, I think for a lot of people, Kid is a foregone conclusion. They think he absolutely deserves to be in certified fraud.
He's a casualty.
And what I would say to that is, I think you might be right. But personally, I would put him in Fraud Watch because I think for a character like Kid, he has like done stuff, right? He was instrumental in helping take down Big Mom. He did a lot of damage to Big Mom. He has like pretty decent feats. The problem with Kid is he's constantly being compared to people who are just better than him, and he himself, like his own attitude, it's like Kashimo. He thinks he's so much stronger than he is. So he absolutely 100% is a fraud, right? That's undeniable. But I think he's done enough good that I wouldn't put him on the same tier as, like, because, like, for example, look at the 3 characters we have in Certified right now. It's Fugoleon, Kashimo, and Kishibe. Those 3 characters, the one thing they all have in common is they've done nothing. They're 007s, right?
Right.
Kid's not a 007. He does have feats. He has accomplishments. I would put him more on the tier as like the Witch Queen and Sukuna, where it's like, yeah, he's a fraud, but he's not.
a fraud with feats. I get it.
Yeah, he's not as bad. Like, he's like 107. Like, he has 1 feat, 0 relatives. Yeah, like he's not on the same tier, you know.
The 170.
He's close. I'd put him at the top of Fraud Watch.
I think I can agree with that. Yeah.
Okay.
I can agree with that because he did play a pivotal part in Big Mom being defeated.
He just has some shitty luck then.
Yeah, it's just, man, Kid.
Well, it's not even bad luck. He just puts himself in those scenarios.
He
didn't have to fight Shanks.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I was also gonna say he was dumb too.
That chapter of him getting beat by Shanks is like the craziest ass whooping I've seen all year.
I will say I do agree with you, Dago, that like top of Fraud Watch, you know, he does have those moments. He does have his feats. He does have his moments where he truly is actually contributing, and the story does not like. It seemed like the story's bending over backwards to make him seem strong. It seems like he's actually strong in his own right. But that chapter of him losing to Shanks is such a legendary hoeing that it really is incredible. He didn't even see any of the red-haired pirates before getting just met. Not one red-haired pirate in sight and done.
It is the most incredible thing about that chapter is not only seeing him lose, but also finding out he didn't even fight Shanks the first time. That's not how he lost his arm. Because that's what everyone assumed. Wild. Everyone gave him that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, a lot of people said it was the monkey.
Yeah, people said it was the monkey that got it, yeah.
Well, that's just
man.
funny.
That monkey's crazy.
I will say,
like I said, he absolutely is a fraud, but I wouldn't put him on the same tier as like the certified frauds, because I think they're worse overall.
I agree.
That's fair. I will say, bro did not know advanced armament and went to the roof anyway and was surprised that they could fight Kaido. That was kind of crazy to me, but I still would put him in Fraud Watch. I don't think I'd put him certified.
Because I know people hate this argument, but like, oh god, I hate that Oda did this. But yeah, Oda writes it in such a way that you absolutely need advanced armament to be able to hurt Kaido.
Mm-hmm.
And Kid has the moment where he's like, oh, well, I'll just compress you or whatever. And it's like, I think to everyone reading it, it's like, oh man, that's stupid. Like, it's doing nothing. Technically, it did hurt Kaido. Like, if you look at the panel, Kaido, like, feels it. And Kaido, even after that, he's like, oh, they're monsters in their own right. And it shows Law, Kid, and Luffy together.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, he's stupid for not knowing advanced hockey, and he absolutely would have done more damage if he had it, but technically speaking, he could hurt Kaido, just not a lot.
I can respect the fact that he pulled up to avenge Killer, though. Like, even without knowing that.
Things where if Luffy did that, people would praise him for his bravery.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That is true. So, yeah.
My straw hat king never loses.
So, do we want to put him top of Fraud Watch?
Yeah, I'd put him top of fraud watch.
I would put him top of fraud watch.
Okay. So next up, this one is just funny because this character gets brought up a lot by chat, especially in the Kuma flashback. So Monkey D. Dragon, where do you guys want to rank him?
This man, I'd say potential scammer. I think he's hyped up enough that there is a chance, but he's done so little that he's just not. He's not in good terms right now.
I think potential scammer is a very fair because like he has that relevance and he has that hype. Like Oda goes out of his way to hype him up a lot, but he's also done nothing. Like ever. We've never seen him do anything.
Yeah.
And it's like, logically, it all makes sense, right? Logically, it makes sense. He's controlling the army. He's not going to fight the government head on. That'd be stupid, right? But I feel like that's the same argument with Megumi, where it's like, yeah, Megumi technically follows the themes of the series. That doesn't really mean that it's great, you know? Because it's like Dragon, it's like, yeah, logically it makes sense why he didn't go to Mary Jo to save, you know, Jenny. And I gave the whole argument on the podcast why it makes sense. But also, within the series of One Piece, we have a certain standard. Like, Whitebeard, Roger, Luffy, like, they are the standard for, like, you know, who like, they're him, right? Because it's like, it didn't matter if they were going to lose. They probably would have, but they still would have tried. Dragon didn't even try. Because he knew he was going to lose. So it's like, I think potential scammer is pretty solid.
I think that's a good spot to have him, too. Yeah. Where do we want to put him though? Where in potential scammer do we feel? I feel like
maybe like
definitely
in between and like Clover Kingdom.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Next one, we have Hawks from My Hero Academia.
Why is Hawks even on?
So there was an interview with Horikoshi where he said that he had some big plans for Hawks last year, and Hawks did like next to nothing. So where do we want to put him? I personally want to say that he belongs somewhere and They Were Framed, because I think Hawks still had some really good moments this year.
He's got some great moments, and if he's only in here because of that interview, he's kind of being framed right now. So.
I personally think he beat the allegations. I really like Hawks.
Okay.
Hawks is so cool.
I'm fine with putting him in beat the allegations.
All for one.
Yeah.
Considering like how like his quirk was, because he was like pretty nerfed, right? So it's like
he was so nerfed, man.
I think he did pretty well. I personally would put him in beat the allegations. I really liked what I got from Hawks.
He did get a hit on all for one.
A good one too. Broke his mask.
Yeah, true. Okay, yeah, we can put him in beat the allegations. That's fine by me.
My favorite Hawks moment, I'm just gonna throw this out there because I think of him. My favorite moment ever is just when he's just talking about his weakness, and it's like, so what's your weakness? Fire. So how do you cover it? Not get hit by fire.
Yeah. Just don't get hit, dumbass. Okay.
What's that one robot chicken bit where it's like Batman with all the Justice League weaknesses, and he goes to Martian Man, and he's like, his one weakness is fire. Yeah, fire's everyone's weakness. It's fucking fire.
True, dude, true. Okay, so next up, I feel like this will be a fun discussion. We have Fake Saw Man. So by all intents and purposes, he is a fraud. But he did pretty well against the Falling Devil. So like, where do we really want to put this rando here, this faker?
That's tough.
Because it's like he is a fraud because he's not Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
True. You sent us a curveball here.
Yeah.
Full of technicalities that I don't like.
I'm feeling potential scammer for him.
Potential scammer somewhere in the middle, somewhere safe.
I feel like
because he is a fraud.
Scammer's a good middle.
Because he is a fraud, but he had really good showings, right? Like he did well.
Yeah. I want to say, yeah, I feel like top of potential scammer.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good spot.
Because you know what? Maybe he will be better.
Yeah. Maybe he will be better. Maybe he won't be. We'll have to see.
I wonder if he got a power up too.
Yeah,
oh, yeah. Sure. I didn't even think about that. And last but not least, we have All Might from My Hero Academia. Toshinori Yagi. Where do we want to put him on this list?
So what are the allegations? Like, what's he on? Like, what is
so
he a
the
fraud?
reason why I put him on this list is because I feel like it would be fun to talk about him having a suit and just not jumping in the war sooner to do something.
All right, so like,
Because
here's
that
the
was a
thing
big part
about
of the
that.
discussion in these chapters as well.
I'm gonna be on defense here, right? Because one, communications were cut with UA. He didn't know what was going on in there. Two, they were like winning against All for One. Like, they were just straight up winning for a while. And then Rewind happened, and then they were still winning for a while. Only after that he get in his car and like drive up and get ready to fight. And it's like, yeah, on his way there, more stuff happened. That's like just what happens. Like, you can't do anything about that. I think he beat the allegations, because I think every time someone says something about like, why was he there, there is a solid excuse.
I think he's bottom of Fraud Watch, and here's the reason why. Because even with all of the stuff that happened at UA, and like, I agree, he doesn't know about that stuff, and that's fine. I just think it's so weird for All Might to, well, one, he had the suit in Villain Hunt, and it's kind of weird for him to just be like, damn, I wish I could do more. And he just has a fucking Iron Man suit in his hands. And then you get to the war, and it's just like, oh, well, I have this suit, and I'm not just like, I'm just not gonna help like evacuate people. I'm not gonna help like get people to safety. I'm not gonna do like anything, despite the fact that he wanted to be of more use, despite the fact that he wanted to do something. He kind of just didn't. And then he has all of this crazy tech for his suit as well. And like, damn, man, it would have been cool to see like the students get a bit of a power up. That would have been cool. Like some better boost to their quirk so they could do better in the fight. I feel like he's kind of a fraud for not doing any of this stuff. Are y'all still there?
I think he's cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think that's
my
being
internet is not the
really
best.
unfair. I feel like that's a lot that's being really unfair to him. Like, for example, like in Villain Hunt, right? He can't be like trying to tell Deku to like, hey man, take a break, rest, have a less toxic mindset about this, while also embodying that same toxic mindset. Like, that's
What do you mean
really
embodying it? I feel like him like learning from that mistake would make him the best person to talk about that.
the fucking armor suit is like the embodiment of his inability to give up that being of a hero. It's his inability to accept retirement.
Yeah, that is a fair point. I think that could have been done at least a little better, but hey, All Might just is a psychopath who likes to fight people. So, hey, I thought he was a better character, but you know,
You're right.
my goat is washed. My goat is washed.
I think this is a scenario we're
His
just
character flaws was really well done, I would say.
we're just gonna have to vote because this is just gonna keep going. Because yeah, I mean, like,
Hey, I vote bottom of Fraud Watch. That's my
I
vote.
vote beat the allegations.
What about you, Jigga?
You can vote for whatever tier you want, by the way. It doesn't have to
I think he
be.
was fine. I thought he was pretty fine.
Okay, framed. What about you, Ty?
I think he's being framed.
I think
Okay.
he was framed.
All right, so we're just gonna go with framed then.
Fair enough.
So where do we want to
yeah.
put him in framed then?
Hmm.
I feel like beneath Kizaru is a
put him
good
wherever. I
spot.
don't really care. To be honest,
Yeah.
I'd put him towards the bottom.
Yeah.
Near the bottom. Either beneath or above Kizaru, somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, so here we go. This is the official SOS fraud tier list. I will drop this in chat and I'll put it in the description later. But in case you are an audio listener, because I know we have a few people who just listen to the audio and that's it. So Excuse me. In the bottom tier, we have the characters who beat the allegations. We have Yuta Okotsu and we have Hawks. In the next tier up, we have They Were Framed. We have Kaido, Satoru Gojo, Kizaru, All Might, and Yuji Itadori. In potential scammer, we have Fake Sawman, All for One, the entirety of the Clover Kingdom outside of Asta and Yuno. We have Monkey D. Dragon, and we have Yoshida. In the next tier up in Fraud Watch, we have Eustace Kid, we have Sukuna, we have the Witch Queen. In Certified Fraud, we have Fuegoleon, Kashimo, and Kishibe. And we have the man above the rest, Mr. 007, the fraudulent one, Megumi Fushiguro, above all. I feel like this is a pretty solid list. I feel like we have a pretty good list here.
I think this list is pretty good.
Yeah, I think we did a pretty good one. Let us know, chat. I'm pretty sure everyone would agree that we did a good job. So hold on here. Let me just transition. Oh my God, we have 20 viewers here. Okay. Hello. Hi, everybody. This is my first time being able to see all of you. So we're going to transition into our next topic. I'm going to try to pull it up on screen here so we can have the chapters and stuff coinciding. So what we decided to do, originally it was just going to be top 3 favorite chapters just in general for the year out of the series that we cover here on the Slice of Shonen podcast. But we decided to have a gentleman's oath. We decided that we were going to just try to keep it brief in our summary. And we were going to list our favorite chapter for each series that we talk about here on the podcast. So that's 5 chapters each of us have to go through. Let me make sure I can get this list for y'all to send it in chat for everybody.
I figured the best way structurally to do it would just be like
talking about each series.
Yeah,
yes.
we'll just do like, okay, what's everyone's favorite MHA chapter, and then we'll just go down the list.
Of course.
In VC, and we'll each just give our favorite chapter and like why it's our favorite.
We can just talk about MHA a bit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're doing the whole. We're also
because then we
today on the podcast, right?
For
like,
sure.
It's just
kind of a year-end review.
That.
Yeah, at the same time.
Yeah, and then after we talk about those, we're going to talk about just our favorite manga that we've had this year and just some notable stuff. I also just dropped the tier maker in chat for you guys for the fraudulent tier list. You guys can make those if you would like to, and you can send them to us or send them to me mainly on Twitter at AnimeBlackman. That'll be linked down below. So yeah, just let me know. I'll try to get to seeing everybody who sent some to me. But anyway, we're going to move on. So let's talk about our top 5 favorite chapters. Do we want to just start with MHA?
Yeah, we can start with MHA.
Okay. Yeah, so I will try to... Well, actually, I don't know if it's smart to pull up the corresponding manga chapter on stream. I don't know. Do we get striked? I don't know. I feel like we should... I feel like I'll avoid doing that. Okay. So I can write down these timestamps again to make it better for people who listen after the fact. So we have My Hero Academia. I guess let's just go in order on Discord. So we have the Cookin' Taco up first. What is your favorite chapter of MHA for this year? Or I guess last year, 2023.
Yeah, my favorite MHA chapter of 2023 was a chapter that actually didn't come out in 2023, so I had to change it.
I did too. Yeah.
When we first came up with this idea, my favorite chapter was 411, which is the newest chapter, which is fucking insanely good. Yeah. But technically, its official release was in January. So, looking back, this year for MHA, I think there was a lot of ups and downs, but I think overall, it was a very good year. Yes. We got like the Davi stuff, we got the Toga stuff. My favorite chapter was 390.
390. Which one was that?
Which one is that?
That is the conclusion to the Davi stuff. That's where we see Endeavor with Davi, where he's like laying on the floor and he's like, "I hate you all, hate you, hate the whole family." He's like, "Go on, really, let me have it, keep it coming."
Gotcha.
That chapter is so fucking good, dude. I mean, to me, it is the perfect resolution to that entire storyline.
Yeah, That was a really good one. That's that W pick.
And that's my favorite. So who would be next? Let me look.
That would be Jigga. Do you have an MHA chapter?
I do.
Okay.
My favorite chapter from 2023 is 394. So just a little bit afterwards. And it's not the absolute resolution of the Toga versus Ochako fight. It's just like the climax of it and everything. It's
That's
just
a great one.
that one chapter, basically like one of the highlights of it. And why I picked it, because the absolute meme potential that came out of it was the cutest smile in the whole world. So the whole like,
domain expansion.
So yeah, it's that chapter. But jokes aside, I really do like that chapter, and I thought it was the one where Ochako says like, "Oh, my quirk isn't used for violence." It's the one before that, but I still just picked this one because the art really carries it, because there's some really good like shots and panels of it. So I really like it. It's nice. That's my favorite.
Hell yeah. W
Good
pick. Okay, so next up we have Ty. What's your favorite MHA chapter of the year?
My favorite MHA chapter is the same as Taco's, 390.
Oh, nice.
The end Bobby stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just great, and I just do love the art. Just the splash pages, a lot of that stuff is really great.
Dude, the way Dobby's drawn,
It's-
where it's all like burnt up and shit, it's
Oh.
so good.
That shit goes hard.
Bro, it's fucking crispy down there.
Yeah.
I can hear all the snaps and cracks of everything.
Ah, damn, the Rice Krispie one. Hey, I respect that. Next up, I guess that's me. My favorite chapter is actually, I guess not way earlier on, but it's a little earlier on. It is chapter 379. That is when Shigaraki is once again liberated. Ugh, I was doing backflips. That shit is too good. That one, especially the art in it as well. Holy fuck. Like, god damn, like Shigaraki freeing himself from AFO. The last spread, which is just one of the coolest things I've ever seen, of Deku and Shigaraki facing off with UA falling in the background. Holy fuck. That shit goes so crazy. Plus it has a little bit of Lady Nagant, and I love her. She's great. Wish we got more of her. Yeah, that's my favorite MHA chapter of this year. Or I guess last year.
What a coincidence. It's also mine.
Let's go!
We're a fucking hive mind in here.
We're
Jigga's
locked in.
Shigaraki's fucking awesome, all right? And seeing him finally free himself is so satisfying. And it's not some he got saved. No, he saved himself.
You're damn
being
right.
freed. That is so great.
That's so good, man.
That's a very
Shigaraki's
good
the
chapter. Low key, I'm thinking about changing.
I'm
like,
low key, I was thinking about changing to yours too, because it's so that was
Those
going
are so
back to
good.
just
Yeah.
so good.
Two of the best chapters of the year, definitely. Jigga's is up there too. All three of those chapters are insanely good.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I guess
And,
we can.
like,
Oh, go ahead.
Are we
Sorry.
gonna talk about like MH in general, or are we just gonna go through like our favorites and stuff? Like,
I mean, yeah.
If
might
you
as
want
well,
to,
if
yeah,
you
that's-
have
that's
any
fine.
I think
Yeah.
that's a
Easy
more
to do.
structured way to handle it.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, that's fine.
MHA was like, here's the thing, it had a lot of stuff that people didn't really like. The All Might fight was very controversial, so it is such a dividing line for the community I've seen. People aren't like middling on it. They either love it or hate it.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from that, though, it's like, I mean, I don't really have any major issues with this year. I mean, it had the conclusion to the Dabi fight. It had the conclusion to Toga and Ochako. It had the conclusion to Bakugo's character arc, which, however you feel about it getting there, the conclusion was great. Like, yeah, they took some awkward steps getting there, but, like, damn.
Yeah, I agree. I think for the most part, I really enjoyed this year. I think most of the big conclusions were extremely well done. I had some reservations of the All Might stuff, but I think overall I think more positively on it now after like it's over. The only thing that happened this year that I can straight up say this is bad, I don't like it, is the Gigantomachia stuff.
Oh, yeah, I didn't like
Yeah.
that.
That's the only thing this year where
that's right. It
It's
did.
so lame, I forgot
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah,
It's
right.
the only thing that happened this year that I legitimately think is a fumble. Like, I don't know what Horikoshi was thinking with that. Everything else I like, though.
Yeah, while there were definitely a few downs for me, I think the positives very much outweighed the negatives for MHA this year. I think MHA had a very good bounce back. Well, I shouldn't even say bounce back. I think it was just a very good year in general for MHA. Manga, the anime kind of dick, but well, at least the first half. The second half was pretty good. But yeah, I think overall MHA had a strong year in 2023.
The reason I caught up with MHA is because of Gentle and La Brava being introduced back. That is literally the reason I started reading again.
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
Dude, that chapter was almost my favorite. I'm not.
It almost was my favorite too.
It was almost my favorite,
criminal. Yeah, that shit was so good, man. Yeah, that was a good one. Okay, so which series would you guys like to talk about next? Do you guys want to talk about Black Clover?
One Piece.
Oh, One Piece?
Like
okay,
One Piece.
Yeah, One Piece sounds good to me.
I actually kind of, I don't have to like go, but I gotta step away for a second. So, hold on, I don't have it open. Dang it, I was not prepared.
Go backwards.
Ooh, you're never prepared.
Get
I
him.
know.
Frame
But my
boil.
favorite chapter of the it was the one where I mean it's gonna be a rather generic pick. It's the end of the Kuma backstory, and he wishes
Bonnie happy 10th birthday.
1,100 so.
Yeah.
Yep. Fucking
That's a good
broke
one.
me, man.
Final
So
chapter of the year.
That's a good one.
Anyway, now talk about One Piece. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, Taco, you're up first.
My favorite chapter of the year. What a coincidence. It is chapter 1,102, the end of the Kuma flashback.
That's a good one.
This year for One Piece, we'll get more into it when we talk about just like overall, but I think this is as long as I've been a One Piece fan. I've been reading One Piece weekly for 8 years now. This is the best year of One Piece ever. That's since I've been caught up.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even think it's close. This year was insanely good for One Piece.
It was really
in
good.
every aspect, not just the manga, the anime, the live action, just fucking everything this year was phenomenal. But this chapter to me is not only the best chapter of the year, it's one of the best chapters in the entire series. Because I think this is the first time in a long time where One Piece really, it made me tear up. Like it really hit me and tugged on my heartstrings. Because like I think One Piece is better at that than any other series. One Piece has made me tear up and cry more than any other manga.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest, I haven't felt that way in a long time. There was nothing in Wano that ever even really got me close. Whole Cake Island, the Sanji stuff definitely got me close, but I don't think I ever like teared up or cried when I was
Sanji
reading
stuff got me close. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, it got me close, but it didn't. It wasn't like as good as like
the
pre-time skip moments, like Mary's funeral, Robin saying "I want to live," Ace's death. Like just
for me,
I would
Sanji
put this chapter on the same tier.
I feel that, yeah. For me, the moment where Luffy just like smiles at Sanji and says, "Well, of course, that's just who you are. Let's go crash the wedding."
Mm-hmm.
That shit had me in stitches, bro. I was bawling. That shit messed me up. But yeah, that's a really good pick. Kuma's. I feel like Kuma's flashback will be a very popular section to choose from for us.
One of the best
people.
characters.
Yeah,
in this entire series.
Easily. So let's welcome back. Let's move down the list. Jigga, what is your favorite chapter for One Piece this year?
So I do love all the Kuma stuff, and I recently like caught up with like the remaining chapters for that arc, and the first thing I said was, so I caught up with One Piece, I'm gonna cry myself to sleep, and I just crying. But that is not my pick from this year.
Damn.
My pick is 1079, and that chapter is where
no
decimated. And the reason why I picked that is because that had such an impact on everybody that like even people who weren't even fans of One Piece were talking about it. like with this Kuma stuff, yeah, it's sad. It's kind of just One Piece stuff. Everyone loves it and everything. But Shanks just getting destroyed and sent to the bottom of the sea.
Kid.
I had friends who didn't know shit about One Piece, and they were like, "Hey, can you explain like why this guy is being called useless?" And it's like, "Oh, finally, people are interested." I said, "Finally." That's how big it was. That's why I like it.
Yeah.
Kid getting fucked up is bad, bro. That shit is crazy.
Finally seeing Shanks do an attack,
especially like Shanks doing shit as well.
Divine
So
departure, yeah. The fucking hockey man discourse was hilarious that week too. That was a good time. Yeah.
What's next?
What do you
Hockey
think he'll pull out next?
Susano.
A hockey Susano? A hockey domain expansion?
He's a hockey man.
Bro's gonna pull out the blue hockey, bro. Just wait.
You're damn right. Hey, man.
All right, but just wait until he's about to fight someone, and then it cuts to the next chapter.
Unironically, that could happen. Yeah.
Remember, Blackbeard is the originator of the off-screen hockey. Bro. He taught Superman what he knew.
He's the fucking professor of off-screen hockey, man. He's crazy with it.
All right, Fraud 101. Off screen.
All right, yeah. Ty, let us know, what is your favorite One Piece chapter this year?
My favorite chapter this year is 1085, and that is the chapter where Imu speaks to Cobra and Sabo saves him, and we get to see like the shadows of all the Gorosei's like transformations and all that shit. I thought that was crazy.
Yeah,
that was
insane.
A very close second for me. It was between that chapter and the Kuma chapter. I picked the Kuma chapter, but that Sabo chapter's fucking insane, dude.
It was really good.
Yeah. Overall, for this year for One Piece has been really great. But if there's one thing I appreciate is the absolute hilariousness of the One Piece fandom. There is no other fandom where people describe a character as Schrödinger's goat.
Oh shit, I forgot about that. Damn.
Like this Blackbeard Schrödinger's goat, like he is both goated and washed at the same time.
Oh shit. Yeah, no. That's a good thing.
Underwater.
That's a good one. Yeah, goats washed for real. My favorite chapter of the year is funny because it's actually an unfinished chapter. It is One Piece 1098. That is when we figure out what happened with Guinea.
Almost gonna be mine.
Yeah, and Bonnie is born, and like, I felt so emotional reading that chapter, man. Seeing Bonnie and all that other stuff, and them talking about like Kuma. I'm pretty sure that chapter ends with Kuma being like, oh, like she's not gonna make it to her 10th birthday, and Bonnie's like, oh yeah, it'll be over on my 10th birthday, and Kuma's like, yeah, no, you're right about that. And he just realized that he, like, what a crazy lie he told to Bonnie. He's like, what am I gonna do, man? Like, that chapter it did so much to me, man. It did so much to me. The fact that Kuma didn't even get to hear Guinea say, I'll always love you. Fuck! Oh my god, dude. That chapter did too much.
I love One Piece for the fact that, like, it's, like, one of the most anime things ever. And the fact that everyone can now universally say that, yeah, there's a dude named Kuma, which just literally translates to bear, who is, like, the most important and saddest dude in the entire fucking franchise. I love that.
Yeah, you see the nigga with the Bible and the paw prints? He's actually one of the best characters in the series.
Best character, bro, I promise.
I mean, I started talking about it a bit earlier, but just like going into like a overall like year, like look at One Piece, I'm telling you, it is the best year for One Piece ever.
It's the best year that I've had, with One Piece.
In the anime, we got Gear 5, we got Zoro versus King, Sanji versus Queen. We got in the manga, we got Garp versus Aokiji, Sabo and the emo stuff. We got the Kuma backstory, fucking
all the other shenanigans on Egghead,
like,
yeah.
Dude, it's like you can't even keep track of everything. Fucking Law versus Blackbeard, Kid versus Shanks.
Yeah, like, One Piece anime remake, like
the One Piece anime remake, the fucking live action.
Yeah,
which beat all fucking odds, dude. Shocked the world and wasn't dog shit.
It
like
was amazing.
No one had faith in the One Piece live action. Everyone thought it was going to be bad, or like bare minimum decent.
Just like okay,
and it was actually good. Like, Man, what a fucking year for One Piece.
Yeah,
I
it's the
had
best
so
year
much
that
fun
I've been a
this year.
part of the fandom. Yeah, like there's just
Yeah.
been the streets have been so fed in One Piece. It's crazy.
We're full,
Yeah,
but I'm still so hungry.
but I want more.
I want more, bro.
I want more, man. Okay, what series would you guys like to talk about next for 2023?
JJK.
JJK. Oh, okay.
Ooh.
All right, JJK. This one's hard for me. But okay, Taco.
Yeah, this is the year we all learned we don't like JJK.
How'd you know? I've been pretending this whole time.
This has been the year of me embodying fucking the one gif of Grisha's dad from AOT. He's just screaming at the sky. That's just me. Eternally, perpetual, just screaming at the sky with JJK. But Taco, kick us off right, man. Let us know what your favorite chapter of this year was.
My favorite chapter of the year. Now, jokes aside, you know, JJK had some insanely high peaks
Absolutely.
this year.
Yeah.
Some really good stuff. My favorite chapter of the entire year, and by far the most fun I had talking about a chapter, reading a chapter, just the entire experience, was chapter 224. Which is the very start of the Sukuna versus Gojo fight when they're just throwing hands. No domain expansions, no fucking bullshit. They are just going at it. Bro, when they're fighting in the hallway of the falling skyscraper and then it fucking hits and they just walk out of the rubble like nothing.
Yeah.
Dude, insane.
That shit goes
Such
crazy.
a good fucking chapter, dude.
That shit goes so crazy, yeah.
That is my pick.
Absolutely. Okay. Jigga, let us know, what is your favorite chapter of JJK this year?
Okay, so my favorite chapter from 2023 is 232, which is kind of like in the middle of the Gojo versus Sukuna fight, where it's pretty much like it's just kind of Gojo just throwing technique after technique. And then, of course, the climax of it is the Black Flash. And what I love about that is that's like one of the very few times Sailor ats me in chat and he was just like, hey, guess what? We are fucking back. And I had no idea what he was alluding to. And I was like, all right, let's see. And I read that. And because I'm in a public area when I'm reading it on my phone, I couldn't just shout to the heavens and back. So all I had to do was just celebrate silently by just like jumping up and slapping my knees and just saying, we're so back! Like nothing happened.
You're damn right.
I love that, especially in the fact that every time I see Sukuna's stupid fucking wheel hit the ground, all I can think of is just the metal pipe sound.
Bro, that shit was generational. Because I even remember reading the spoilers that week, and Miyamura was just like, are you guys ready? We haven't seen this move used in JJK in forever. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking? And then it just like hit me. I was like, holy shit. Like, oh my God. And turning the page and seeing that, I freaked the fuck out, bro. I freaked the fuck out. I wish we got the text of Black Flash above it, but hey, it was still a cool moment.
Yeah, I want my double page spread, but I'll take what I can get.
Yeah, it was still pretty cool. All right, Ty, let us know what your favorite chapter from JJK was this year.
So very interesting the order we're going in right now, because Taco says his favorite is the start of the Gojo vs Sukuna fight. Taco says his favorite is in the middle. My favorite is chapter 236. The very end.
Oh man, what a fucking chapter.
Oh my God.
Fucking, there's been nothing funnier than the shit I had seen on Twitter, on TikTok, on this own very Discord server. To their everyone's reaction to this fucking moment. I remember joining VC one night to both Taco and Zenith already fucking losing their minds, asking me, have you seen the leaks? And I say no, but go ahead and send me. And he sends me pages, the double page spread of, oh, come on, pages 12 and 13. The spread of Gojo just on the ground. And then, later on, we get more leaks coming out to page 16, which is where the page where we see the rest of him.
Oh my god,
Bro, I was losing my shit.
Dude,
Bro.
entire countries fell for like 24 hours. When
Dead
this chapter
ass.
dropped.
Twitter
Low-key, I kinda
broke.
wanna change my answer to that chapter.
God damn it.
Oh, God.
Twitter broke.
I literally remember like going on TikTok and seeing like a girl celebrating her birthday because her birthday landed on the day that Gojo got unsealed. Just thinking like, I wonder how she feels right now.
Oh no, bro. Bro, I remember it was slightly different for me. I went to sleep pretty early that night, and I woke up and I had a ping, I had a notification on Discord, and I was like, oh, that's weird. Usually the fellas don't like ping me that much, you know, like what's this about? And I thought it was just going to be a random ass video that Taco sent me. And I scroll up in chat, and it's from Zenith, and it just has the JoJo menacing kanji. And I was like, what the fuck? What did that mean? I read the spoilers, and I fell to my fucking knees, bro. I could not believe it. And then the fact that we end the chapter with Kashimo, I was like, what the fuck are we doing?
Dude, it's fucking... Oh my god, the fucking Sky was going around and be like, don't worry, bro, it's Kashimo's plot.
Oh my
You know what? I'm
god.
changing my answer. My favorite chapter is 236 as well. The more we talk about it,
Oh my
this is the
god.
thing, right? Like, technically, I hate the chapter, but like the more I think about it, yeah, I do love it.
It
so.
was very funny. Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
I talked about it before, but it was funny seeing people just be like, what, you don't get it? And then they explain it one way. And then the next guy comes along and be like, what, you don't get it? And explains it an entirely different way. And that just continues for like an entire like 30 to 40 people. It's just like, what, you don't get it? It's so obvious. And they all have different explanations. It was so funny, man. Yeah, no. That chapter was when I learned JJK discourse is kind of cooked, but hey,
it ain't been great.
yeah, that's yeah. It's funnily enough, my favorite chapter of the year. It was a tie between this and 214, which was where we got Yuji versus Sukuna. But rereading this chapter, what?
Never mind. Go on.
Oh.
My bad.
I was rereading this chapter a couple of times this morning, and I thought, nah, I think this is just my favorite. And that is actually the chapter right before, chapter 235, aka the biggest I'm him display I've ever seen. I don't really have too much to say. At the end, meathead shit won out for me. Because while it was cool to see Yuji and Sukuna like talk, like have their like discourse or whatever, seeing Gojo, like, first of all, that panel of Gojo where like he's just smiling and his hand is like just regrew, I was like, ugh, that is one of my favorite just panels in all of JJK. Then he lands the two black flashes. He lands a black flash, catches Sukuna, throws him into Mahoraga. They get sent to a building, lands another black flash, and just seeing him shoot up red. Shoot up red and then still land hollow purple after Sukuna tried to interfere. Holy fuck. I have never seen a nigga get styled on this bad. Generational ass beating. It was really good, man. That's my favorite pick.
Do you know what the final like word is, or like the final sentences in that chapter, Sailor?
Yeah, Gojo wins.
Gojo won.
Yeah,
Hold on.
Gojo won.
So, I would like to say that my favorite chapter was 235.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean that's the one y'all are talking about, the one where it says Gojo 1.
Yeah.
It is the most edge of my seat I've ever been for JJK. Just seeing every step of the way how he just completely finesses him.
Oh, you were being serious. Okay.
Yeah, no.
I thought because the way you set that up, you were like, I would like to say that it was 235, and I was like, oh no. I thought you were gonna be like, but now that we talked about it, 236 is my favorite.
Yeah. No, because genuinely, it's so cool how every step of the way just completely outplays Sukuna.
Yeah,
it's so good. How he's like sends out the fake piercing blood, the piercing water or whatever, and then just strengthens the blue to pull it in.
Yeah, the fact that like he sends
looks.
Yeah, he sends Mahoraga to go break it. He just teleports up and swats him away. Like, oh my god, this nigga is so crazy. And just that, like, those two panels of like you see Hollow Purple coming together, and it's just Mahoraga and Sukuna looking like, oh shit, and in the middle it's just Gojo smiling. Like, oh god, bro. The only thing that could have made this cooler is if they kept the fucking fan scans where Gojo was just like, the only reason you were the strongest is because I wasn't in that era, you bitch. Oh my god. That shit goes so crazy. That shit goes so crazy.
Dude, I was so mad when I found out that line wasn't real.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, bro. I remember reading that in the leaks and going fucking ballistic.
I was doing backflips. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, I wish they kept that line in. That was such a good part, but whatever. It is still a really good chapter.
Yeah, no, that's just my favorite. It was either that or I think 215, where it's Maki and Yuji fighting Sukuna.
Yeah, the tag team champs of the world. Yes, sir.
And also, I like the moment where Sukuna's making fun of Yuji with the anime. That's funny. But not this chapter 235. It's generational. Like that is so it is a moment where I knew that Sukuna was gonna win the fight. But even then, I felt it like, oh yeah, Gojo earns that.
What a way to go out.
That's what happens, honestly.
Yeah. He really was the strongest, man. God damn. But he couldn't stand up to Sukuna's fucking Mickey Mouse Catool. At the end of the day, who can? Anyway.
Nice cool, though. We'll help us later.
I was talking to, like, you guys last night about this in VC, but I truly do think 2023, as good as MHA and One Piece were, like, they had really good years, I think this was just the year of JJK, personally.
Yeah, I agree.
With all the highs, with all the very fucking lows. With the anime, like...
Yeah.
Season 2.
The community, the
so
memes,
good.
like,
yeah.
This was such a fucking fun year. And
there were so many memes centered around JJK this year. Yeah.
Ultimately, this shit is entertainment. These are comics, and the main purpose of these are to entertain, right? And this was such an entertaining year for JJK.
Oh yeah.
Like
the I'd win.
Regardless
the Joe
of
Goat.
how you feel. Regardless of how you feel about Gojo versus Sukuna and like the outcome, we witnessed a classic happen in real time.
Yeah,
people are still going to be talking about this fight years from now.
Yeah,
that shit made me think, and I don't like doing that.
Like, it's generational. It really is. It was an insane year.
Really good year for JJK. Like all the memes that came out of this year, the fucking.
I win.
Yeah, I'd win. Joe Goat, you are my specials. Stand proud, you're strong. Like, there's so much good shit that came out of this year for JJK, and of course, season 2 of the anime was just very, very good. Yeah, I would agree. I feel like this was just the year of JJK, which is insane considering how good MHA and especially One Piece were this year, I definitely do think this is just JJK's year. But anyway, enough of JJK. What's the next series you guys would like to talk about for 2023?
Black Clover? That sound good?
Yeah, I was thinking we do Black Clover and then finish it off with Chainsaw Man.
I was also thinking that.
Sounds good to me. So, Taco, what is your favorite chapter from Black Clover this year?
Favorite Black Clover chapter, and surprisingly, I didn't think there would be a whole lot to pick from, but there really was. We got a lot of chapters before it left,
before the hiatus
for a while. Yeah, my favorite Black Clover chapter of the year is 355 because that is, I mean, it is probably just the best chapter, right?
Which one is that one? Is that the one where Yuno comes in?
Yeah, spoilers, it's also mine, so I'm with you, Taco.
Okay, so that chapter, like, I'm a little disappointed with what happened afterwards, because I was kind of hoping we would get more from Yuno versus Lucius, which the fight's not over. Like, they're still fighting. Now Asta showed up. But, like, seeing Yuno come in and, like, do like a Wizard King level feat, like mimicking what Julius did, where he protected the entire kingdom, and then like coming in and he's like, I am Captain of the Golden Dawn, like I'm gonna become the Wizard King, and seeing Lucius like that panel where he's like, I knew I'd have to put you down myself. I was so excited, dude, reading that. That is like,
that should go
just
so
one of my
hard.
favorite moments in the entire series. Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah, that's a good one. I might change mine. I'm not gonna lie. That was a really good one.
You'd be on the winning team.
Okay, so next up, you think I'd memorize the order by now, but I didn't. Jigga, what's your do you even have a favorite Black Clover
doesn't
chapter?
read.
I was about to say, I don't think
I was really hoping you didn't say anything, because I was gonna say a chapter. And it was gonna be me just explaining, oh, it's a chapter from fucking Blue Lock.
All right, so Ty, what's your favorite chapter for Black Clover?
I really like 365. That is the chapter where Asta finally returns and he helps the Black Bulls.
Oh yeah, that's
well, it's right at he shows at the very end. The Black Bulls are getting fucked up. I really like that chapter. I like seeing Asta show up like that. Other than that, I really can't. I think it's mostly because Black Clover went on such a fucking
long
went on like a long hiatus that I can't think of a lot of other moments that really made me excited this year. So
true. Okay, so that means I'm up now. I think let me pull it up. My favorite chapter. Why did it just pull YouTube up? What the hell? My favorite chapter for Black Clover this year is gonna be 348. That's where Asta comes back after he just learns Zetten. He saves Ichika, and we get to see more of how he was thinking and like how he's progressed. Pretty much him cutting through his like insecurities and his hang-ups and becoming a stronger person. It's very rare when we get that sort of introspection from Asta about how he feels. So it was really cool to see that. Plus we got some good action, some good spreads. It was nice. The Yuno chapter is really good though. I might change mine.
Do you have anything else to say about the Yuno chapter, Xena? What was your favorite thing about it?
It is just so cool. Like, I one of the craziest things about just this isn't necessarily this year or like last year, I guess, but just in general with Black Clover lately, it's made me like Yuno, which I thought was impossible. God, I don't hate him. He was the most nothing character to me for so long, and like suddenly I just really enjoy his character. It's ever since Asta was out of the picture, it felt like he was genuinely struggling with something, and to see him show up and like just have that presence out of feeling genuine loss was so good. He was great now. He's awesome.
Yuno's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This was a very turbulent year for Black Clover.
There were some
broke the stream with the turbulence.
Don't really like.
Yeah, there was definitely some chapters. There were some moments that we didn't like. There were some moments we did like. There was the whole moving to the some Giga stuff. It's like
that was rough, but good for Tabata. Good for Tabata.
That was rough. People were doom posting. People thought it was done. Like it's over.
I thought it was over. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but it's not over yet. He's still got a couple more left in him, and I'm excited to keep reading it.
Absolutely, man. It should be a good fight. Yeah, it should be a good 2024 for Black Clover. Okay, so last up, all we have is Chainsaw Man, correct?
Yep.
All right, so Taco, kick us off right. What was your favorite Chainsaw Man chapter this year?
So for my favorite Chainsaw Man chapter, this one, I don't know how many people will feel the same way, because this was a pretty good year for Chainsaw Man. We had a lot of really insane chapters. But my favorite chapter of the year was actually the very first chapter of the year. And that is 116.
That's the aquarium, right?
Yeah, that's the chapter where we first see Denji and Asa start to like become friends.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And when they're like eating the starfish. It's a very quiet, like intimate chapter. Like there's no shenanigans going on. There's no Chainsaw Man bullshit. It's just two characters who we care about, because by that point I had already really liked Asa, and seeing, I already loved Denji as well. Like seeing them interact, and I'm like, okay, he's cooking. Mm-hmm. Like I was like, Fujimoto's doing really good with these two characters and their dynamic, and I just really like it. And that chapter is still fueling a lot of my excitement for the future, because I love all the Denji stuff we've been getting, but also at the same time I really want to see him meet back up with Asa.
Yeah, me too.
I want to see how that's going to go. So yeah, that's my favorite chapter of the year.
I want to see my two favorite thieves back together. Stole all that fucking money.
my two favorite losers.
Yeah, my two favorite losers. Yeah. That was a really good chapter. Even I think that one ends with her about to make the aquarium her weapon too.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that was a really good one too. Yeah, that was really good shit. Okay. So, next in the list here is Jigga. Do you have a favorite chapter for Chainsaw Man this year?
I do. It was pretty tough to pick, but I think the one that I like the most, that just feels the most Chainsaw Man chapter to me, is 125, which is where we get introduced to the even though I picked this chapter, what is this devil's name again?
Falling Devil?
Yes. Okay. So yeah, them. Just them fucking around within the city, just trying to get apples and stuff. And I like that because it's a very interesting devil, because it's not like, I'm just going to destroy everything for shits and giggles. Like, no, they're very chill and everything, but then the moment you like hit them, they just fuck you up. Like,
they're immediate aggro, yeah.
Yeah, like the sniper, like, who takes a shot. Oh gee, how does the falling devil react? Destroy the entire apartment complex he was in. Like, just all of it.
I had to make sure they were dead.
I really like that, as well as the fact that by the end you see Denji like doing one of the most Denji and Chainsaw Man things ever, where his head gets cut off, but then like he pushes his severed head into the falling devil anyway, just to cut her. It's so stupid, and I love it.
That shit went so nuts, yeah. I almost chose a chapter from that thing. I think it was like maybe a chapter before or a chapter after, because we get the falling devil. She's still like, she's feeding like that fat worm thing. But earlier in the chapter, we have like a long conversation between Asa and Yoru. It's the one where it ends with like, being with others or being alone, I'm afraid of both. And I was like, oh, that's such a good moment. So I almost picked that one. That was a good one. But next up, Ty. What is your favorite chapter for Chainsaw Man this year?
My favorite chapter is 130. It's the one where Denji is on the motorcycle and then the buildings are flying and shit like that.
True.
I thought it was sick.
That's a fucking video game level if I've ever seen one. That shit was so cool.
For real. Bro, if I don't see this in a Ghost Rider video game, I'll lose my mind.
Yeah, man. I was just like, I read that chapter. I think I even sent the chat. I was like, this is just straight up a Bayonetta level, and I love it. Yeah. This shit went so crazy. Yeah, that's a good pick. What is my favorite chapter? Let me pull up my list here. My favorite chapter for Chainsaw Man is chapter 146. That's where we get the big reveal of what's going on, about how they're trying to build up Denji and Asa to be super duper strong to take on the Death Devil. We had the Flame Devil reveal. That was the chapter where I was like, okay, I'm locked the fuck in. Like I am so here for all of this. This felt like such an amazing payoff to a bunch of stuff that was going on in part 2 so far. Yeah, that was easily my favorite chapter this year for Chainsaw Man. And then Zenith, what is your favorite chapter, my friend?
That was a strong contender. It was that or my actual favorite, which is 150. And it's the one where Denji brings Nayuta home, and he thinks about what he wants, and he has that conversation with Pochita, and he realizes that what he truly wants is to be Chainsaw Man. And then he finds the house burning, and Barham taunts him before getting shot up. Like, what a great just character chapter for Denji. Just the culmination of everything and all, just being pulled around in every direction just to finally be asked the very simple question, what's next?
Yeah.
And once it's been reduced to that simple question, he can properly accept that what he wants is to be Chainsaw Man above all else. And it's so good, man.
Yeah, that's
so
a good one. That's a really good
one. Denji's such a good character.
Chainsaw Man good? Question mark?
And just overall, these last like 5 chapters, I think like roughly that around that range, has been incredible. Like, I think overall for this year, Chainsaw Man has been a bit rocky because there's been a lot of stuff I loved, a lot of stuff I liked, a few things I wasn't a huge fan of, but overall a difficulty in understanding where we're going. What is the point of all this? But these last 5 or so chapters, again, locked in. Incredible shit.
Yeah, it really put a lot of stuff into perspective. It's really good. Chainsaw Man is so good right now, man. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they got cooking in 2023. But yeah, with that all being said, those are our top 5 favorite chapters from the series that we cover here on the podcast anyway. But off the record, off the podcast, is there any series, any manga that you guys want to give a shout to that you guys enjoyed in the year 2023?
Blue Lock, let's fucking go!
Blue Lock, hey man, that's a good one. Blue Lock, yeah.
Blue Lock was very good this year.
For me, yeah.
My God, it's so fucking cool.
I will say the last match kind of dragged on a lot.
See, I had the benefit. I just let the chapters build up and then I just binge read. So like it wasn't that bad for me.
Blue Lock is one of the very few series where you pretty much have to binge it.
Oh yeah, that's what I've been doing.
If you don't, oh boy, I hope you're ready to wait for a month for the enemy team to score.
Yeah, that's been my method. I've just been letting chapters build up. I think I'll probably let like 2 more chapters come out and then I'll catch up again, but that's been more enjoyable for me.
For me, even though I said One Piece was insanely good this year, even though I said JJK was insanely good, MHA, I genuinely believe the best manga that I read this year was Blue Box.
Blue Box is so fucking good, bro. I just caught up on it this morning. Oh my god.
Blue Box did not have a single chapter below like 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
This entire year.
Yep.
Every single chapter was good. Not even a single like slow chapter.
Dude.
Every single chapter is good. Blue Box is 132 chapters long. I don't think there's a bad chapter in the entire series.
Facts. Spit your shit indeed, brother.
It is consistently one of the best written series in Shonen Jump. And I'm glad that it's getting that recognition and that it is starting to become very successful.
Yes, sir.
Because I've heard that it's selling very well, and that's all without an anime.
Dude, yeah, which we're gonna be getting soon, by the way. So excited. Which we're
getting soon.
So excited. But yeah, man, like I am like genuinely shocked because some of my favorite chapters just all year was the stuff with Yumika. And like I was not expecting that when she first got introduced, and I'm so happy we're getting more stuff. We're getting more interactions between her and Shinatsu now in at the start of this year, man, because that whole like mini arc was so much better than I thought it was going to be. But yeah, Blue Box has been incredible this year. I think that's my like outside of the series that we talk about here on the pod, that's been my shining star of Shonen Jump for 2023. It's just been a really good year, man. That's been the consistent one. That's another one that I've been kind of letting build up. But yeah, man, those chapters, they're so good. They're so good. I seriously cannot recommend it enough. If you have not checked it out, check out Blue Box, man. Put that as your New Year's resolution. Check that out. At least give it a shot. It's really good. For me personally, well, I'll keep it in Shonen Jump for now, because this manga definitely surprised me. Kagurabachi. I was not expecting this series to genuinely be good.
Actually, so good.
I was not expecting Kagurabachi to be this good.
Dude, the newest chapter literally
it's so good. It's so good.
The newest chapter.
The way that it ended, it's like, oh my god.
I genuinely feels like I'm watching something.
Yes.
Kind of generational.
Yes.
Made right now.
Like the presentation of it all is so good. Like the characters are so lovable. The art is obviously great. Like, dude, I was not expecting it to go from just like, okay, you know, hee hee ha ha funny meme guy to like, wait a minute. This is like actually just a very good series. Like this is actually just a very good story, man. Hey, maybe it getting leaks for chapter 1, it'll go down in history, man. That'll be one of its legendary feats for this run that Kagurabachi's having. Cause goddamn, dude. Like
it is so good.
Such a sucker. Oh, what's up?
My friend describes it as Kagurabachi is so unfathomably raw, and then just posts like every single like panel from the chapter.
Yeah,
because
dude,
they're all raw.
They're all fucking great.
Just did that.
And I will say, like, I think the most surprising of the series is just how much I love the main character. Like Chihiro does such a good job in this. Like he stands out in the sense where it's like, yeah, like he's a revenge boy, but like, God, I think the cast in this story does so much to help uplift him because it allows him to show more of his like emotional sides and just being like a big brother to like the little girl and just like being in these gag moments and stuff like that. Like it lets him fucking breathe outside of just I'm angry and revenge. And now you have the stuff going on with like the parallels going on between him and Sojo right now. Yeah, it's genuinely I am very surprised at not the year, but I guess like the couple of months that Kagurabachi has had. It's made me a fucking fan, dude. It's made me a straight up fan.
His relationship with Char is so good.
Yeah,
it's genuinely like got me emotional a couple times where I'm like, man, I really care about both of them. And the fucking villain, dude, like, it's like a super sped up version of like Shigaraki and Deku, where it's like they're both honestly, like young, yeah. They're like young and they're like strong, but not that strong. And then seeing them like learn how to use their abilities at the same time, like from watching like each other. In that final panel where you just see them like walking towards each other, dude,
and then they just disappear, and
dude, it's so good.
The text above said the battle lasted mere moments. Like, oh my god.
I'm such a sucker for like those like single clash fights because they're just so raw.
Yes, man.
So cool.
I am so pleasantly surprised by this series. I love it. If you have not checked out Kagurabachi, definitely give it a shout. It is only 16 chapters long. It's not long at all. Genuinely blown away. It's really good. I I guess this is the other manga that I've really finished this year, and that's Summertime Rendering. I really enjoy Summertime Rendering. I don't have too much to really say about it because there's a lot you can spoil about that. But I decided to give it a read this year. I don't know, maybe the anime is like different, but I've heard people say that the ending was bad. I actually really like the ending in the manga. I don't know, maybe it's just different. Overall, it's just a really good story. I think the way it handles time travel is really fun and creative. There are so many just moments where my jaw was on the floor and it was just like, what the fuck is even happening? Really good mystery too. Just fun characters. That was a story that I definitely wanted to give a shout this year.
Cool.
What about you, Ty? You got any other series that really stood out to you?
I didn't read very much manga this year. I just read a bunch of DC shit.
True. You don't want to talk about Blue Beetle, bro?
Well, I didn't read any Blue Beetle comics this year. I'd say my favorite comic I read this year was the very first one I read whenever I got the DC app, and it was Superman Smashes the Klan.
Dude, that's such a good fucking.
That, I actually did read that this year. It's so good.
Yeah, I read that this year too. It's so
that
good.
is my genuine 10 out of 10 perfect Superman comic. I love. If you have never read Superman Smashes the Klan, read that shit.
Actually, Sailor Deadass, I would really recommend that for you. I think you would love it.
Why do you say that?
Just because
you're
like
one of the only people here who hasn't read it, and it's really good.
I haven't read it.
well, I guess it's just like the themes of it that I think you'll really appreciate, and it doesn't do it like you're expecting. Like when you hear Superman smashes the Klan, it's like, okay, you just think like, okay, the Klan, they're racist and that's it. Superman beats them up. That's not it at all. It's so fucking good,
I won't say a lot, but like so yeah, as Taco said, you expect it to just be like Superman beats up a bunch of racists, which is like, it's fun, but it's Superman beating a bunch of bad guys pretty much. But like they relate it to Superman in such an interesting way, because when you really think about it, Superman is an immigrant. He isn't really from Earth. He's very different from people. So like, and they use him in a way, they don't just like relate to him. There is like an immigrant family that you follow in this story, and it's just all these. The story's really great. And I think people should always.
So good.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to.
One of my
check
favorite
that
Superman
out.
stories.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my favorite comic I read this year.
Shouts out.
All right, Xena, what stood out to you this year?
So, there's been a few things. And I want to take this opportunity because I've read a lot of things. I've caught up on things. I've enjoyed my weekly manga. The thing that stood out to me the most this year was Undead Unluck, which I think I'm the only person in the chat who's currently reading it. And I'm gonna be real, that should change because we are in the final arc. And this year has been so good for it. How it just completely changed what the story is about. Like, well, it's so hard to explain without spoiling, because this is my pitch, guys. Y'all should read it. Y'all should get on it before it ends. It's so good right now. I like I said, I don't want to spoil anything, but the way it just shifted the dynamic of everything that's happening while keeping everything familiar, the way it's exploring old ideas that, like, the way it's touching stuff it explored before in such a creative way. Read Undead Unluck. It's so good right now.
All right, yeah, Undead Unluck. I'll have to give that a look then, for sure.
Yeah, that's my prime. That's my favorite this year. I think of like the stuff we don't talk on the podcast.
True.
Overall, this was a very good year. I had a lot of fun discussing with you guys on the podcast. All these series we've been reading, and looking forward to next year a lot. But even more so, I think this year, 2024, is going to be a year of changes, because I think it's pretty safe to say by this time next year, when we're looking back, when we do our next year review, we're going to be talking about the end of MHA, JJK, and potentially Black Clover.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. We'll
a lot
have
of
to,
changes.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out some stuff to put on the podcast. I've seen a ton of people talk about Dandadan, so maybe that.
Kagurabachi, here we go.
Dandadan.
Yeah, there's Kagurabachi too.
Kagurabachi, Dandadan,
yeah.
both great.
Hey, I'm just saying we could put Blue Box on here.
Hey, for real?
Hey, I'm just saying, but yeah, no, we'll definitely, hey, we'll roll with the punches like we always do. We will keep the ship nice and calm here, man, nice and calm. But we really do appreciate y'all for letting us get to 100 fucking episodes, 100 episodes, and I feel like I feel like we've just started to really get better at this stuff. I feel like things have started to click more for us as a podcast, and yeah, man, I'm just really happy with where we are right now. I'm really happy with all of the support and all the love that we've gotten, and just allowed us to just be ourselves and talk shit about a bunch of stuff that we enjoy. So thank you guys for just being here for us throughout the entire year. We really do appreciate you, all the love and support. We hope we can earn all of that again in 2024, even more, as a matter of fact. And yeah, fellas, is there anything you'd like to say to the people before we get the fuck up out of here?
Have a good year, guys.
Yes, sir, man. Have a good year. And that's about it. Well, for the first ending of the podcast of the new year, and for the big episode 100, I have been Sailor. This has been my Ensemble of Excellence. Goodbye. Mwah! And good night.